Hi, this is Captain Jess Card of Starship Acanthus. Welcome back from the break, or if you're just joining now, welcome aboard. By the way, all the times on my thing are all suggestions. Sometimes I come in a little bit early, sometimes I come in a little bit late. It's just, rough approximation of what's going on. Okay. I just read now that, okay, I don't have the tutorial at new game. Sorry, just let me double check that one again. So when you come on to new game, you don't have this tutorial thing here. Interesting. So this is available on console edition. So are you playing on PC? And that's maybe it's not available for PCs that you can do a tutorial. But alright, Captain. Yeah, that's the tutorial. PC, yeah, okay. I don't want to do the tutorial right now, personally, because it really is just like the thing telling you what to do all the way. I'm just going to play a new game. Now, the only thing about this one, please keep in mind, is that I am going to be playing a game that does not involve diplomacy right now. Now, when I say does not involve diplomacy, that really is just the finer points of diplomacy. Most of the major aspects that are diplomatic are still there. Things like declarations of war and whatnot. The only things you're really not able to do is things like migration treaties, opening your borders to people, doing trades. We're just not going to cover most of that stuff. But given the fact that that's a whole other component of the game, we'll get there. So not doing that is not going to be the biggest point. We're going to focus mostly on ourselves for this one. And how we develop. We will have, wars. And that's going to also probably help you with preparing defensively against any problems that we're going to have. Because if you can play as a devouring swarm, you can almost play as fucking anything. Okay. Also, warning, I don't know how far we can go in this game because my difficulty level is extremely high and a lot of times I will die. Okay, without further ado, let's go already. Now, the first thing I do, you'll notice that I didn't actually let the time go. It's because you have a whole bunch of stuff you have to do at the beginning, including resources. Look at all the resources we have. So the first thing I'm going to do is get our science done. From the beginning. Oh, choices to be made. Of these three. Now, everything is when it comes to science, everything you have to keep in context what your species is. So self-sustain and conquer. Exactly, self-sustain and conquer. This is going to be very much heavily based on that. So there's a few things to be looking around on here to choose, because essentially it's your choice. What do you want, kind of thing. Know your species, know what you need, know what you're going to be needing in the future. We've got three options here, and the options are a variable based on the game. This will increase over time. You have to read what it is. Now, immediately you can tell this one here, fusion power, has power generation in it. And this technology will lead to further advancements in several different fields. This is a locking technology. It opens up a ladder of other technologies. So this is something you might want to unlock with. Now, fusion power. What is fusion? The fusion reactor is going to be what your ships are going to have in order to have power, and that's going to allow you to have a greater range of weaponry on your ships. It's also going to allow your ships to go faster, and this is also going to lead to one of the most important technologies you can get, in my opinion, which is called jump drives. Field modulation, energy credits from tech drones, and energy credits from star-based constructions. So, tech drones are on planets. Star-based constructions are in systems. So all the different systems here, if you see any kind of generator stuff, that's going to be from there. And if you see, for example, your planet, you have these ones here, your generator districts. That's what it's telling you about the 20% right there, because that's the drones. The names of these might change slightly based off your species type. So one thing to also keep in mind is to always look at the actual colors and the percentages and the numbers of what it's doing, not necessarily the names. They can slightly vary. On this one, it's a tough pick. Research station output plus 10%. Again, that only affects your research stations, and that means only the research ones that are going to be in your systems. We'll show you those as we go. It's going to be a question between fusion reactor and field modulation, I think. Now, you'll also notice that they have different prices. This one's $650, $813, and $650. I usually, when in doubt, go for the cheapest one, but on this one, it's going to be a question of, do you want to advance your money, or do you want to advance... I just call this money, by the way. I might use money in many contexts. Money is what you spend. If I'm hyper-specific, it might just be like a specific thing, but if I'm speaking very generally, just be energy. Because energy is the base for your galactic market. you buy and sell everything through energy, for generator stuff. So because of that, this is the basic money, and then all the other ones are other monies. That's just my vocab, by the way. So here I'm going to have to choose between fusion power and field modulation, I think. These are the two better ones. And I really want fusion reactor. But I think it probably is a better bet to go with field modulation right now. Especially at the beginning, we really need to establish a society. Okay, society. Now, I almost always choose evolutionary convergence if I can. I don't think it changes its name, this one. This one grants a small amount of unity per monthly, and monthly unity goes up. Now, this is a really important one because this one is going to allow you to advance your, grants monthly unity plus 5%, and monthly unity is what you're going to advance your traditions with. Now, traditions are really important for this game because they generally allow you to have really big additions that are going to allow you to focus on specific targeted tasks. Whatever you're trying to do in your game, each one of these has 5 different things that you can unlock, and each one of them has starting benefits and ending benefits as well. So you basically have 7 major benefits with these. Your starting benefit, all 5 of the things you unlock, and your ending benefit. And then you have an ascension perk, which will come up over here. Once you finish each one of these categories, you get 1 ascension perk, and these ones are pretty big. This is how you're going to plan how you're targeting the whole game and and in here you can read about what they do. But yeah, this is kind of the way that you're going to be able to also define the pacing of your game. A lot of this is this game is about not only knowing what you want to do, but when you want to do it. And the traditions are really helpful, not only in advancing the game, but choosing, okay, when am I going to be doing certain things and choosing that kind of pacing. Okay, so third technology here that we're going to choose, that's going to be engineering. Now, engineering is really important to remember early game that it is... it's going to be where you get your destroyers, and your destroyers are your next level when it comes to military fleets, the actual ones that can fight. This is really important because your military fleets function from over here by way of being the first fleets you're going to get are corvettes. You'll also notice that it's going to be accessible through fleet management. Your corvettes are worth 1 each. Once you get destroyers, they're worth 2 each. Then cruisers 3. Then you have I'm sorry, not 2. It doubles each time. So 1, 2, 4, 8. Corvettes are worth 1 fleet capacity each. So 1 in your fleet. Destroyers, when you get them, those are going to be worth 2 each. Then cruisers will be worth 4 each. And so effectively, they actually have like a strengthening of your hull by double. You'll have to look at the specific stats, but essentially, corvettes are going to be wicked fast. If you look at your ship designer, they're going to be, we have our corvettes here. We can design them. These ones have really high baseline evasion. They have 60% evasion, you can see here. And you have to look at all these stats, armor. These are all the baseline stuff you're going to have. When you see your destroyers, I think destroyers, they start with 40%, I'm pretty sure. So they get 2/3 the evasion, which is not very much. These are wicked fast, but they're super weak. As you get bigger ships, they're going to be stronger, and they're going to be less flimsy. And so you're going to have to kind of decide what kind of composition your fleets are going to have. And we'll get more into fleet design as we go. Okay, so in here... the cold guns are useful because they, again, right there, they'll advance in a tree. This one I don't like. I don't like space torpedoes very much. Frigates are a kind of ship that is basically like a stronger version of the corvette. They're kind of like the destroyer. They lose too much evasion. They're kind of bulking up a ship that isn't built for bulk. So I don't go for space torpedoes almost ever, but feel free to have fun with them if you want. I'm actually going to go for powered exoskeletons. The reason, army damage, I don't give 2 fucks about because army doesn't matter that much for me right now, but menial drone population resource output plus 5%. Your menial drones, now that will change the name of that. That might be a different term, but it's still going to be the same essence of what it's going to be performing. And that is, in your planets, you have populations in here. You over to your population, and you can see where all your workers are. And for this one, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. might be different on PC. I don't know. They might have done something advanced recently, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And these ones in menial are all your, that's your menial drone. You have complex drones here. These are your advanced industry. So this one does all your Unity, anything that's science related, anything that's engineering, not engineering, your industry, anything that converts a raw resource into a second resource, so secondary industry, that's going to be here. All of these, as you can tell, they cost some kind of primary industry, which would be your primary industries, by the way, are energy, minerals, and food. I don't have food in this one, by the way. I'm not collecting food, and the reason I'm not collecting food is because I wanted to consolidate everything in here. So I'm a species type that specifically eats minerals, and that just is for efficiency. But you're gonna have to buy food districts if you have food. This is consumer goods here. Again, I actually don't need consumer. I don't. The plus 11 there is not correct. It will go to plus 0 in a month. All the numbers there, by the way, might be fucked up on the first month. Let a month pass to get correct numbers. Okay. So we'll go into our shipyard. And in our shipyard, I'm going to build a science ship to start off, because that one is, we have enough resources, and you are going to want to explore the region. Then we have construction ship. Now the construction ship at the moment, there's nothing to do with it. So I'm not going to do anything with it. Science ship over here, we haven't even started. The most important thing for me is planets. Planets are resources, and so you need to get them. So my first thing is I'm going to go to this one. I just go over top of it, and I go survey system. This one, you'll notice here, it says surveying. Manga 3, 0% plus 10 orders. This is really helpful for you to know how long the actual research is going to take, and that's going to help you time how you're exploring the region, and also whether or not you're going to be able to capture certain systems when you see other people trying to capture them as well. So we'll keep an eye on all sorts of things. But at the moment, yeah, we're building another science ship. Now, at the beginning, there's a limit on how many science ships that you can build, and the reason is because construction ships, you can just kind of work with them at any time, but science ships need scientists in them. And so we're going to have to get a scientist, and we're going to have to work with that. So that's how I usually start. Now, we're not going to do anything with military to start off with. It's too much of a drain on resources for me, and so I just don't touch that. The last thing we're going to do before we start is we're actually going to categorize our planet. I call it categorizing. It's basically when you control what they're doing. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to favorite the mining drones. Now, the reason I'm going to do this is, A, I want the mining drones to be the one that are the favored in terms of what their resources. But you're also going to notice, when you first start this one, sometimes weird things like the foundry drones have 1 out of 2 here. The moment I click this, you're going to notice it's going to go to 2 out of 2. And that's because by giving this a new order inside the planet, it actually resets all of the planetary automatic orders, and it's going to prioritize this one over maintenance, which is over here. So I'm pretty sure maintenance is going to go down to 4. So boom. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so the maintenance didn't go down to 4, but we magically got a foundry drone in here. I don't really know why. But yeah, that foundry drone filled up. It just basically means everything's filled in and we're good. Now, in here, you'll notice mining is at 12 with a plus 5.8. We have 6 with a plus 4.3. And these are full. We need more space to fill in more dudes when we get our, because you'll see here, growing and assembling. Our population is going up. We want spaces for those ones to fill in, not just the maintenance. Maintenance is okay, but maintenance is producing amenities. Okay, cool. We get more amenities. That's going to help out. But that's not really going to help our resources. We need more resources. So what we're going to do, you'll notice we have, before we even start, 300 minerals. At least on this creature, our current species. Just look at how many you have. I'm going to immediately build mining. I know I use it for food, and I use it for construction of all districts and stuff like that. By the way, all districts and building cost minerals. So you're going to need to find those. So there you go. Buy your minerals right off the... buy mineral mining, especially for my species, because I eat minerals, so that's really important. You're going to have to time what kind of district you want. I know you'll notice here, agriculture. I don't have any agriculture, and that's just because my species doesn't favor that, so I don't bother with that. There will be agriculture districts. I'll be destroying them, but you need to keep your food. Now, I will just give you a little honorable mention for food because I'm not going to be showing you how to do food. The only big tactic I can tell you is you want to keep this number positive, but as low as possible. because there's not much use of food unless you are doing something very special in terms of converting food into other things, and that's going to be more of an advanced thing you'll learn as you get into it. So there are exceptions to that, but for the most part right now, keep this as low as possible, but positive, and you'll be okay. Same kind of deal with this one. Keep it as low as possible, but positive, because or else you're not being very efficient. Okay. So science ship is going to go study here. We're going to get another science ship. And is there anything else we really need to get done before we get started? Let's take a look at our planet again. Oh, yeah. So this one's building and mining. When this one is done, the mining is worth 3 districts. You actually have to read, yes, it's going to create 3 jobs. What that means is that these 6 drones is going to become 3 out of 6. It's going to become a fraction like that. And this one's going to become 12 out of 15. And it's going to be adding to that as we get more populations. Okay. I think that's an overview of the whole beginning. So without further ado, let's actually move it forward. Holy shit. And we're going to be doing a combination of exploration and whatnot. Okay, so we're going to start, and I just, get it going as fast as possible. Now I'm just going to be going between full blast and nothing. So science ship goes down here at full speed and start stop kind of thing. That's what I'm going to do. So we go over here, and this one starts surveying the thing. Now we immediately get a science ship. Now you have to know your species type again and all your timings, but essentially what I do know is that in order to get a scientist, there are 3 scientists available. Now, these scientists can cost different amounts of money. As you can see, this one costs 175 down here, whereas these ones are 100. Usually, they would cost about 100 for my species. Your species might vary, but they'll be roughly that. It also depends on your difficulty level. Higher difficulty levels, they'll cost more, and lower level difficulty levels, they'll cost less. And these ones cost Unity to buy. You only get 3 at the beginning for my species type at the moment, so we're gonna get all 3 of them, I think. But this one's gonna be a little bit more pricey, so that's less than desirable. All of these ones have different skills. You can see, you can look at the details of the skill. This one specializes as being a meticulous analyst, and that helps with anomaly discovery chance. This one helps with being efficiency, which also does anomaly discovery chance, but in a different way. And this one is an adaptionist, so they have leader experience gain of plus 10%, which is okay. These are all little bonuses. You might want to keep an eye on those because they can be helpful if you, for example, if you're doing anomalies, you're going to want to research that with something that's going to be making it more efficient. It's just a question of the more of these little tiny things that you can maximize, the higher difficulty level you can get. So the more that you learn about this game, the more you can min-max your efficiency. Okay, science ship in here, in the house. You are my second science ship. This one is already moving down south down here. We're going to need to get visuals on the rest of the region. I can already tell this is going to be extending a little bit, but we don't exactly know where all the borders are. I want to know exactly what's going on down here. It looks like it's probably not going to connect over here. By the way, I have hyperlane density really, really low, and it creates a much nicer map, I find. Much more difficult. If you want to have more connections between them, you can increase hyperlane density, and that will make more connections between your systems and make it for more border gore, especially if you want that. So this science ship, I think I really need to know down here. So you'll notice here, I'm allowed to move it over here, but I'm not allowed to move it over here. And the reason is because I don't have a science ship in there. I am going to actually go inside the system, and I'm going to move it right sublight all the way over here. Reason I'm doing that is because I want to be as efficient as possible in its motion. I don't want it to waste any time. I can't afford a science ship yet, but I will be able to. So what I want to do is I know I want to move it over here. I'm going to move it as close as possible without being able to actually do anything more. And then we keep going. So always trying to min-max little tiny stuff, and those are, the benefits of min-max is that... Right. Hold on. Because of the tutorial earlier, anomalies. I'm not going to start those at the beginning immediately. This is the first anomaly we're going to get. It's going to ask you to change scientist or research. I'm just going to press B. I'm going to go back. I'm going to not do it. It's going to ignore it. And we're going to do anomalies at one point. Anomalies are really nice. What they do is they add more stuff to your systems. That's really all they do. They sometimes have stories as well. You can read about the stories as you go through if you want to. And some updates. Those can be a lot of fun. Okay. I'm not going to do those immediately, though, because I really want to get a good fix on our position in the galaxy first, and then we'll work on that. this here is our first tradition. We're not going to go for it for immediately because of the scientists that we have to add. We need to get these ones all getting scientists in them. Okay. I think that's, yeah, that's right. And is there anything else I need to cover immediately? Okay, so one other thing. This game is very complicated. If you forget anything at any point, don't beat yourself up about it. Just keep going until it comes up again. So if I miss anything, I'll just mention it again later on. So now, yeah, we're up to 100. I just noticed. And it's coming across this area. So we're going to go into that science ship. We're going to go boom. And we're going to choose this one. Sure. We're going to buy that one. Boom. What do black holes do? Excellent question. Thank you. Oh, I love it when people ask questions. So black holes, they do a few different things. First, they have in their station, which I can't actually show you right now, the ability to build a black hole observatory, which can get you some science. That's one of the things they do. Second, they often will have another feature inside them. That's another something like an abandoned gateway. They might have some other kind of cool thing in them. They might have anomalies in them that will have some pretty cool stories. They might have also all sorts of things that other things will have, but mostly black holes. They have that observatory, and they're good for that. They're very fast to research. If I wanted to study this thing, for example, I'm pretty sure if I did a survey, it would be maybe a +1 or +2. Very rarely do they go very heavy. +2, so that means 3 things to survey in order to get it. So, for my purposes, other than story-wise, which there are some stories, and it depends on the black hole that you have. They have different types of stuff, but mostly what you're going to get is being able to do an observatory around them. And a black hole observatory. The other thing you can do, and sometimes you can also get rare resources of a dark matter. Dark matter can come from black holes, and that can help you to get star crackers later on. The other thing that you can get with there was another thing. There's a few other things you can get with black holes that are very hyper specific with later technologies and that kind of stuff. Oh, that's it. If you go to the end of the game and you end up doing the this is very specific, by the way. If you end up doing ascension perks, you have which one is it? Galactic Nemesis. If you have this one, you become the Crisis. The Crisis allows you to actually do a special thing where you can be a star cracker, where you can actually go into places and destroy stars and turn them into black holes. You can't turn a black hole into a black hole, so you can't use a star cracker on a black hole. So there's stuff like that black holes will do. Other than that, what I find is that they're very good checkpoints for stations, and very quick to research. So you can use them tactfully within moving forward. Okay, they're very good tactical, especially for positional situations. I like them. Okay, we're coming in here. Basically what we're doing is we're just looking around for we're looking around for any kind of hyperlanes that will lead to other things to see what kind of map we have, but we're also looking for planets. And we saw that there's nothing in here. If there was any symbol, then we would know that there's something in there. Now we also, oh right, as soon as I get that science ship, I forgot about this, I need to buy another science ship. We do have 75 alloys, and usually I do that when I get the next science ship. So once you can afford the next scientist, you can usually get the next science ship, roughly. Okay, we're going up, and we're building another science ship. Doesn't take too long. By the way, that science ship is being made in our starbase. I am playing right now with Origin of Calamitous Birth, by the way. And that is creating a lithoid meteorite. That is going to adjust how we're going to be doing colonizing planets. Please be aware of that. Okay. Now, traditions. Yes. I'm going to hold off on traditions again. We're trying to get our science ship. So traditions cost unity, and I don't want to not be able to get our science ships. So science ship. Okay. Science ship now built over here. And we got to decide, is it going to come up here or is it going to come around here? So the idea here is that we have to basically decide which one of these directions is likely we're going to get a lot more contact. I think this one I want to bring down here, immediately see what we're dealing with in terms of our borders. And then, yeah, so those two are going to go that direction. Again, I can't bring this one into a system right now because he doesn't have a scientist, and he doesn't have a scientist, and I can't afford a scientist for another month. Okay, now I can afford another scientist. Oh, wrong one. Go in here. And we'll pick this scientist. Thank you. You will come down here. Now, please note also when you're moving your scientists around, because they're actually moving in sublight speed, they're coming in these systems. You have to pay attention if you want to get them really efficiently moving around to the angles that you have in terms of your these hyperlanes, because obviously if you come into the system, you can tell that, for example, this distance between these two is a lot shorter than this distance between these two. So there's obviously going to be some distant directions you can go. They're going to go faster than other ones. So this one's going to come down here and come through over there, which isn't a super fast thing, but okay. Sorry about this, but I'm actually okay. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for holding there. And if you're on YouTube, you will have not noticed anything because I'll cut those out on YouTube, I think, when I post this at some point, if I do. If and when. Oh, anyway. So, science ship, you're going up here. And other science. Oh, that's much better. Let's go. So now the discovery part. This is exploration. Ooh. Fuck, I forgot about that one. Right. Okay. Observation post. So here, we've just discovered a pre-FTL society, as the tutorial just showed us. And that means a few things. This thing you're going to get up, you can build an observational post if you want. We're going to have to talk a little bit about pre-FTL society. Ah, it's over here. Okay. But where the hell is the tutorial thing? Tutorial. None. Oh. Oh, there we go. That's how you turn on and off the tutorial, by the way. If you, if I wonder, actually, does that work for you on PC? Can you just go into your gameplay and go into, if there's the tutorial, and then turn it on, and then it can help you out with stuff? I don't know. But that's how I just turned it off. Okay. So, primitives. Yes. Primitives are a big part of this game. This is a primitive civilization, pre-FTL, so they haven't discovered, you know, fast and light technology. Oh, sorry. How many science ships we need for a start? Ah, great question. That is a great question. Yeah. You do have that tip for the tutorial. Science ships. Need depends on what you're doing. It used to be that you could get a lot of science ships. The reality is that you're just going to be limited by your influence, by your unity. If you look in here, obviously, I only have one more scientist that's available, and I won't get another scientist for 3.9 years. So my suggestion is get as many as you can, because unless you are doing a species or a build where you're trying to hunker down and be like a fortress and have a really small area where you're just like really, really technologically efficient, for example, then yeah, you can forego, but you know, having too many science ships. But 4 is the maximum that you can have at the beginning. I'm not going to build too many of them, because one of the things about the species type that I'm doing right now is that because we're not going to be making very many friends, we're not going to have very many open borders, and because of that, we're not going to have that much exploration and science to do. So I usually find 4 is kind of enough to do most of the stuff that you do, but if you want to go more, you can always invest more. It's your call at that point. Yeah, so that excellent question as well. So hopefully, if I miss anything, the people live on Twitch will hopefully fulfill any questions that people on YouTube will have wanted. And then people on YouTube can also put comments and deal with that jazz. I'm probably not commenting on the YouTube videos or responding to those. Sorry about that. Okay, so this one. Ooh, okay. Primitives. Primitive's relationship with you is going to vary depending on your species type. And in this case, I am a devouring swarm, of course, so I'm going to be very hostile towards them. And you can see your policies around that over here under policies. You have your diplomatic stance and blah, 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 but pre-FTL interference, I have aggressive interference, and enlightenment is prohibited. None of this really matters. Essentially, I will kill them. That's what I'm going to do. You can usually build an observation post around them, and that'll allow you to get some societal research. As you can imagine, if you're studying a society over here, you can get societal research. Now, you can also take a little look at them. This is the planet. On this planet, the primitives, we know that they're in the Iron Age, because it says Iron Age right there. Now, that's probably the most second. Okay, that's the most important thing. Second most important is the population. And third most important is probably the composition. No, composition of the planet is also really important. Okay, 3 really important things. If you look at this planet, you can get an idea of the intel. We have habitability 100%. Now that is going to have to do with my species type. I'm happen to be a lithoid that has a tundra preference, so this is perfect for my species. But it's an Arctic world. But you're going to have planet modifiers. You're going to be able to take a look at what we have. This is the planetary features. You can see exactly. We have active volcanoes, noxious swamp, massive glaciers. Those are removed with blockers. You'll find blocker removal under technology first, and that will cost energy to do. I'll show you all throughout what we're doing. We have 16 districts, not too bad. So we do have some stuff. You can actually see the planet composition, and we have cities here this is for housing and whatnot. You got your industrial. This is your secondary stuff. This is going to do, for me, it's going to do industrial. Industrial is going to do alloys. For you, it might do alloys and also consumer goods. It does both. Because I don't have consumer goods, because I'm a hive mind, it doesn't have consumer goods. So everything is, adjusted for your individual. That's why even on that symbol, you can see it has both consumer and alloy, even though for me, it will only be alloys. This is for your generators. This is for your mining. This is for your agriculture. I do heavily suggest that on every planet, you focus on one of them. And the reason for that is because you're going to, when you actually colonize a planet, we'll see this when we colonize planets, you can go into your, this section here on your planet is your planetary designation. Now this one, we have all capital stuff because it's a capital, but you'll see I'm going to use the planetary designation when we actually get to planets. I put on a lot of primitives, and the reason I put on a lot of primitives is because I invade them and I get planets out of it. Other people might not. So if you're playing a very diplomatic species, primitives mean that you might not be allowed to invade them, and so you'll have to just do observations. So yeah, primitives are an interesting one. But now, if you're doing diplomacy stuff with them, please be aware that if you have anyone, if you have anything later than Iron Age, that's the most important one. If you have anything that's Atomic Age, Industrial Age, or anything that's going to likely reach the stars, they can become an intelligent empire and actually be a part of your whole thing. And that can be good or frustrating, depending on what you're trying to do. There's going to be a lot of depending on what you're trying to do in this game. As you've already been able to tell, probably. Okay, we do have 100 alloys already. Does that mean I don't think I remembered bringing that other scientist. So yeah, we have one more science ship that we're going to be building, and then we're going to be focusing on traditions with our Unity. This one here, I do want to grab it, especially since it's got some good minerals in here. I want some minerals to start off. And it doesn't have too many. You'll notice it only has about 5 districts in here, and there's 2 that have blockers. That 3 that are open and then 2 that are filled in. That means that there's 2 blockers in there. And those are the things you have to research and remove in order to be able to put things into those mine districts. So we're going to have to, but with 5 there, we have some space. We have 3, we can work on it. So we're going to have to invade this planet, and that means we're going to need to get some transport fleets, and we'll get to that when I can afford it. I can't afford it yet, so we're going to move on. I'm basically now having to keep an eye on the resources up here, because the next thing I want to build, and I know this from just my experience with this species, is I want to build an industrial district. You'll notice that the alloys going up is at plus 11. I just don't like that number. I really want it higher than that. I want to get it to roughly approaching 20. I don't like it being below 20, but I accept that it's going to have to be at the early game. So you want to get that one up. Alloys, by the way, are what you use in order to build ships and star bases and stuff like that. They're really precious resources, and they help you win wars. Okay. Science ship over here. You did find a planet. I'm going to tell it to survey this one because I do want that planet. It's a plus 13. That means there's 14 in it total. You're going to have to get used to the fact that you're almost always going to be one off. Like plus 13 is always 14. A lot of plus a number is going to be one off from that because there's going to be a lot in the queue, and it's going to be doing one thing. You're going to notice that with transport fleets later. Okay. Science ships coming down here to investigate this region. Oh, we have confirmed the existence of... yeah, we know. That's just alien life is somewhere. We've just confirmed the existence of some... You know, you can read those messages. That one is inconsequential, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. Okay, now science ship 4. We can move this one, but we can't move it into an unexplored system. So I'm going to move it to the edge of unknown over here so we can actually discover this region. And... traditions, again, I can't do that one until I have the... Oh, and this one's cost 175 if memory serves. Shit. So that one's going to be a little bit more time we're going to have to wait in order to get the Unity to do it. Now we found, oh, planet over here. And this is going to kind of extend a border. Looks like we're going to have a border over here and a border over here. I don't know about borders over here. We want to limit how many borders we have because every border we have in this one, we have to have cover. It's not as bad of a problem if you're diplomatic and you're being nice to everyone, but if everyone's an enemy, then you want to limit the borders. Which is kind of why I wanted to be on the edge of the galaxy so you could have limited borders, but this is going to be a weird one. Given the fact that this is actually coming to create that border and there's also a planet in it, I think I'm just going to do an immediate survey. +6, that's really good. Because that's not too high of a number. That means 7 total. If I go back to this science ship, we're now at a +4. So this science ship is going to be really close to getting this one done. I think what that means is construction ship. We now have a plan. Construction ship can now move over here. Max one. Can you max all of them? Oh. Sorry, what's the context of that one? I'll go really quickly. Districts. Ah. So districts, yes. So with districts, can you max all of them? Yes, you can. Yes, you can always, as long as, well, okay, this is what's going to happen. Oh, okay. How do I explain this one? Okay, perfect. In here, you'll notice there's 20 districts, okay? This is the potential for districts. But one of the things you'll notice, for example, I don't know if I have the resources to do this right now, but if I were to build a district in here, it would actually remove one from other ones at the same time. You can't actually build more than the total. You can choose. This is just telling you what the potential could be. But every time you build a district, it does remove that potential from other areas. I'll show you that in a little. You'll see that later. There are, however, ways that you can increase the number of districts that you have in a world. And one of the ways you can do that is using the Ascension perk Mastery of Nature. Max District +2. This is something that it's quite expensive to do Mastery of Nature. It costs 200 influence and you have to unlock it, but that will allow you to increase it beyond that. But for the most part, if you want to have access to all your districts, you need to use you need to get blockers removed. Ah, you have a maximum of districts. There are like 20. You can have 20 and spread between them. Exactly. You have that. That's your limit. And of course, some of them might have blockers on them, which, you know, clear blockers. You have to get rid of those. Those are the districts. So, you know, this one, I know we have 3 right now. You also, by the way, check your planetary features because you might have planetary features that are not actually blockers. These ones, this is not a blocker. This is a buried lithoid. And this is actually a way that we can pay to get a higher population, which is really good because my species type has a really, really low population growth because we can't have migration and we don't really do normal population. Anyway, it's a lithoid, so they're not doing normal sexual reproduction, sorry. All right. So, excellent question. This one here, we still have one. We have more than 1 month because it's 175, isn't it? So we'll continue forward on that one. And sometimes you have a lot of things happening all at once. You'll get used to it. Again, I'm not doing anomalies to start off with because I don't think that I want to establish my location first, especially as a devouring swarm. You might choose otherwise. Everything is choice in this game, so. Okay, council agenda ready. Okay, this is something that's going to happen. The first thing you want to do is whenever you have a council agenda, you want to launch it because there's launch things. You know, this is infinite opportunities. This is the one that just was started at the beginning. This one, council agendas, they are things that have our modifiers on your entire empire. They are going to also influence the node culling. These are nodes over here. You'll find node culling later on when you unlock it with technology. This can be really helpful for the logarithmic expansion of your empire, because they actually are major empire modifiers, and you need to read up about them. This can be, but the logistical growth that you can get on them is really fantastic. For these two, we start off with 2 available agendas, and I'm going to go with the monthly unity agenda, I think. This one, leader maximum negative traits -2. Okay, so you have fewer negative traits. It's okay, it's a good thing, but compared to actually having monthly unity coming in, especially as we're building unity right at the beginning, this is, for me, this is almost a no-brainer. And I think that that's probably a crucial phrase of this game. It's almost always an almost no-brainer for this game. I've seen things that are, oh, that's a no-brainer, and then I'm like, oh, wow, something else is better. Is it better to leave anomaly for later, or if you can choose to do them now? It entirely depends on your species type. If you're doing a heavy research-oriented species, there are benefits that you can get out of doing anomalies. There are like little resources you could get, and they also do provide more resources in your individual systems, so they can be really helpful. I don't want to understate how many people can disagree with me about not doing them at the beginning, because I get a fair number of people that'll be like, you should do them more. So it's an open discussion argument on that one. I leave them and for a little bit, and the reason I leave them is because I'm just prioritizing getting a fix on my position, and a lot of that is because I'm a devouring swarm and I need a fix on the position in order to be able to move forward. They do have a tendency, unless they're to just wait around, you can do them whenever you want, kind of thing. So they're not necessarily time dependent, unless they are. Some of them are time dependent, and you'll be able to learn about that in your situation log. Usually, if it is time dependent, it'll tell you actually how many days you have left to be able to start it. And if it's, and at that point, I'm like, oh, do I have to do this now? And you have to look at what resource is going to be doing that. So I'm going to choose, in this case, to wait a little bit, and I'm going to, you'll see when I time it to actually start doing them. I'm probably going to start doing them before I start doing surveys of systems that don't have valuable things in them. By the way, I'm also going to be doing a move that is very rare. Most people expand one system at a time because of the cost to influence. This is a really important thing if you're doing diplomacy. I'm skipping systems, and that is something that is really devouring swarm oriented, because I have a really I don't have to use influence for very much. Influence is going to be a very precious commodity if you have diplomacy, but it's not very precious if you don't have diplomacy. So for me, I can jump over and like skip a system and just buy this one. But what happens is, whenever you're building systems, it costs influence to do it, and it costs one system of influence for every system you go. So if you go 2 systems, it just costs you double. If you do 3 systems, it costs you triple. That's the way it is. For that one system, you don't get the other ones. So that could be really bad for some people. I was building each system. Absolutely, yes. And if you're doing diplomacy, you should be doing that. That is the correct move to do, almost always. I'm skipping systems because I have an overabundance of one substance, and because I know that it won't be a burden, and I'm taking the risk. And that is a risk, by the way. Okay, this is my more expensive one. I just realized that I'm at just above 175, so we can fill this one in, and we can see. I'm going to bring this one in to explore this region first, especially since coming across would take more time, and that would allow us to get eyes on this region, and then I'm going to tell it to come over here afterwards. That's going to be something I'm not going to chain that, though, right now. You can chain stuff. I'll show you about chaining when it comes up. A lot of stuff that I show you, I'm going to show you when it actually comes up in a practical way, because then I don't teach you everything that's, useless. If it's useful, it comes up. Ooh, planet. But see the position of this planet? As useful as it is, I do have several other planets coming in research, and this one is not on a choke point. So I'm not going to research that one immediately. I'm going to keep going. I am going to try to research that one, but I'm going to hold off. If, by the way, I was doing diplomacy, if I was doing your model, I would do this one first to build this one, because then you're building right next to your capital. That's a fast build. You can snag it really quickly, and then you can come out to here. That's a really good way of doing it. You can build out here. That's only one, and then you can build this one, yeah, and then come out here. By building, you might want to build one of these to come out here, but I think that would be the trick over here on this one with the diplomatic run. Explorer versus survey. What is the difference? Explorer means go into the system that you've never been before, and survey means go into the system and figure out everything that's in it. The explorer, for example, if I have a science ship that's over here, I don't think I can tell it to explore in this black hole. I can tell it to move in this black hole, but not explore. And the reason is because I've already explored it. I've seen it. It's there. So we can move there. But if it's over here, it's explore. And explore means that you're going to go there. You're going to go to the center of the, you're going to go to the star, and then you're going to stop in orbit. And that's it. Unless you get other orders. If you do survey, it means that it's going to go into the system. It's going to start looking for every single thing that it can figure out, all the different whatever it is. Now, surveys, you'll notice, for example, this one's surveying. It's now found 2 science in physics. It's also found a planet, which I need to deal with. Okay, I'm just noticing our minerals are up to 333, and you'll notice in here, because we had our mining is actually up to total, and our tech didn't even go down, which means we have I need another one of these mining. Now, I am trying to build up a lot of minerals because I do want transport fleets. Remember, we need to transport fleets in order to invade this planet because I want to invade it. You don't have to do this if you're not invading planet, but I'm glad that I can show you how to invade planets really early with the species type. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of more of a risky thing. I'm not going to do the mining right away. We're going to start by doing... I'm going to do this deploy in orbit. You're going to see later on, I'm not going to always do that. This is something I will press and depress a lot, but the default is deploy in orbit. I'm going to start with 3. These take 90 days. These are our transport fleets. And okay, so I need to probably explain the difference between transport fleets or armies and military. I'm going to do that as soon as one of them comes in, because I can't show you easily if they're not in. Oh, good. Okay, it did pause, by the way, so we can read this. This is precursors, the Voltome. This is something you're always going to get one big mission at the beginning, and research it over time, and you can get all sorts of really great stuff from it. I don't want to ruin your I don't want to do too many spoilers here. I'm mostly doing functionality, so I'm not going to read through the whole thing right now, I don't think. Unless you want me to. Yeah. Nah, we're good. Yeah, there's some spoilers in there. You can enjoy that on your own. I think I'm going enough in detail and in depth right now. Okay. Good minerals coming in. And I'm just going to wait until those transport fleets come in. Now, okay. Tradition's now down here. And we don't have any more science ships to be adding in. So we can finally start traditions. Oh, wonderful. A survey is like a deep search of a system. A survey is actually getting awareness of everything that exists in the system that can be exploited, and is mandatory if you want to build a starbase. So while I would say yes, it is a deep search of the system, that's a good way of saying it. In terms of functionality, it does have it is also serves as a prerequisite. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. A good way of also thinking about it right here, for example, this system has 2 planets in it. I can see the 2 planets because of the symbol. I have no idea what the planets have on them because they're both orange. Once this place is surveyed, I will find out what they will be. But if I go on here, I have no idea what the habitability is, what features they have, because it hasn't been surveyed. It's okay to build a starbase on each system I surveyed, if you want to. Remember that every system you build costs resources to build it, and costs influence to do it, and it expands your empire, and you will also get access to all the resources that are there. If you have resources, for example, over here, this has physics resources, you have to build a mining facility, which can be done either automatically or not. I'll show you that as well soon. And the more of them you have, the more immediate resources you have, but it can also expand your empire to because you have empire size, which should be, where's my empire size? Over somewhere, over here, over empire size. Boom. Hello, welcome aboard. Scrms Scrimson. Scrims. I hope I pronounced that right. How you doing? So yeah, that's it's okay if you want it. The thing I'm gonna caution you about is that it costs a lot. Not only influence, but it costs alloys, and alloys take away from your military ability to build military. Crimson, if that's easier. How are you doing? I'm doing fantastic. I'm just helping out some people that have been very new to Stellaris and never played it before. We're doing a very new game with a lot more coaching than I usually do, but we'll probably post it to YouTube later. All right. So I think we are in traditions, and therefore we now have to start the discussion on traditions. So the first tradition we're going to get is going to be, well, I don't know. What do you want? What tradition do you want? We've got adaptability, discovery, domination, expansion, prosperity, subterfuge, supremacy, synchronicity, unyielding, genetics, and cybernetics. Now, I have an idea of what I like. I am a Stellaris noob and want to learn. Fantastic! You are in the right place. I do have a plan to probably post this video will be available on VOD for the next couple of weeks, and probably on YouTube at some point. But also, you know, feel free to ask any questions live, because then you get to have that benefit. Yeah, both in the same club. I will be also taking breaks regularly. I'm not going to be going like for hours and hours and hours on end, because I'm human and need to use the washroom once in a while. But you know, so there'll be that. Okay, so we're over here. Yeah, we're surveying. This system would have 2 in them, and weirdly enough, I'm kind of annoyed by this, but the game itself does not survey the planets first. I really wish it would, so I would know what kind of resources we're gonna get in them, but it doesn't. So I love machines. I usually play those. Oh, machines. They are good, but they are very tough early game because they're very alloy heavy. So that's, but are very short. Don't forget to mention, so people won't get scared. Oh yeah, all the breaks are sub 5 minutes. They're either at most 5 minutes. I either take a short like 1 minute break just to go piss, or I'll take a full 5 minute break. Yeah. I love being organic. Oh, okay. I am being inorganic. We're lithoids on this run. And I think one of the benefits of being a lithoid is that it forces me to constantly talk about the difference between what happens with a specialist species and something that's more generalist. We're also playing with a devouring swarm right now, so we don't have diplomacy. So it's there's a lot. I'm able to cover a lot of different subjects and like exceptions to things, because I tend to be the exception in this one. All right, traditions though. On this one, I'm going to give an honorable mention to discovery, but I really like expansion. The reason I'm going to give an honorable mention is because I know there are many very skilled players that will swear by discovery at the beginning, but because I'm such a heavily devouring swarm person on this one, I almost always go with expansion. This one really helps to be able to establish your species. You'll have to look, the big one here, I don't care so much about starbase influence cost at minus 10%. Which is good. I don't care so much, but you will if you're playing a diplomatic species, because influence is going to be really important for you. But new colonies start with 1 additional population. At the beginning, that's a really helpful thing to have. Prosperity is also a really good one. This helps with the development of your planets. Adaptability. This one mostly helps with being able to be more adaptable on diff planets. So if you're used to being on planets and you're trying to like colonize more stuff, which I'm doing, adaptability might be nice. Discovery, very good for science and doing heavy research stuff. Domination, not very good for if you're playing a lot of stuff with that has a lot of diplomacy as much, but this one's really good for having a lot of control over your amenities, over having influence. You know, you have your housing, you don't have much deviancy. This can be very helpful for especially very militant species. We got subterfuge, very good if you have a lot, you know, if you're doing subterfuge stuff. Supremacy, this is a very good one for developing your military. And unyielding, very good for developing your relationship with other species during war so that you can beat them and not get exhausted. Cybernetics, good if you want to be the Borg. And genetics, good if you want to do manipulation of a whole bunch of stuff. So whatever you're trying to do, there's all sorts of really cool pathways. Please keep in mind that you can only do 7. And there are 1, 2, 3, and there are other ones that might be available depending on DLCs. These ones are locked out of me because, you know, can't do them. I'm going to start with expansion though. Okay. Oh, sorry. Right on. Yeah. I do good starts, but when I start going 1 K energy and lose and I get wiped out. Yep, and that's a lot of the time if you can't build that defense. Well, in normal Empire, I like lower. Ooh, good. I'm gonna really show you how to get a really heavy early game defense because we're playing as a devouring swarm with lithoids, and you just need to be able. And we're on Grand Admiral, hardest difficulty. So I'm gonna go expansion. I want expand. This one we might die. By the way, might. It's fully possible. By the way, I am drinking a lot of water, so if I take a lot of bathroom breaks, apologies. But I'm not enough of apologies to stop drinking water. I gotta stay hydrated, you know. I was a noob, waited for more than a year to start. I got here and finally started playing. Awesome! Yes. Move around a bit. I also like limiting playthroughs. For example, I played as an aquatic that got a lot of buffs on an ocean world. Yes! But got debuffed by Kingdom when I got a non-wet world. Yep. Water is good. Captain Jeff shows us health. It looks like drink water. Oh. Okay. I'm Captain Jess. But it's okay because I think you're going to have a Commander Jeff soon enough. Maybe. A good friend of mine, Jess. No worries. You'll get... It's very close. Also, it looks very similar to Jess if you think about the Fs as being like an old S. I usually go Discovery first all the time. See? Because I was told it was the best early on. It is one of the best early on, especially if you're doing diplomacy. I don't do diplomacy. That's especially, and also, if you're not doing that, I would say also expansion. And if ever you're going to be talking with someone who's arguing about discovery, I think expansion is probably the best one to counter that. It's like, oh, that is a really good one. Okay, we got another primitive. Reason we got another primitive, by the way, I have my primitives on 5x. A lot of this game, you're going to be adjusting how... your parameters and to make it a fun game. And because I'm a devouring swarm, one of the things that I wanted to do with lithoids, and that means I'm able to colonize like a lot of planets, is I wanted to have a lot of planets, but I also wanted other species to not be able to use them as much. So I put in a whole bunch of primitives so that I can just devour them, and then the other species go, I can't take it because I'm peaceful. And, you know, it's little bits. You do diplomacy. It's called war. How long have you played? Okay, I need to go. All right, sorry about that. Much better. I find that it's hard to think if I need to pee. Wow. 300 hours. I have like 1 hour more. Oh, wow. I think I crossed 300 hours a while back. Years ago. I might have 300 hours, more than 300 hours live on Twitch. But no, that's well done. More hours. Let's go. We need more. Okay. Break 300 tech per game. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's we'll get going with that. Transport fleet. Now, transport fleet, you can see it has already started. Now we can show you transport fleets. Now, transport fleets are maybe I can't because my head's blocking it, isn't it? Here we go. Is that a little bit better? It doesn't matter. I can read the stuff that is over here. Now, transport fleets over here. Transport fleets are the things that you use to land on planets, okay? It doesn't matter what they look like, actually. And this one, I have one so far, and it is worth 34 at the moment. Now, we are building more. We're building them in orbit. They're coming in, deploying orbit. And they... Yeah, they're going to be what we're going to landing on this one. I'm going to build 5 to start off with. Well, I know I put 3 in, but we're going to do 5. That should be enough to be able to land. When we're landing, we have to basically look at the armies here. They have 11, and we could invade already with 34, but 34. But I find that 5 is a really good number for almost never losing one on primitives. You can sometimes lose one. I have gone down to 4 before, but it's also you don't want to build too many because resources early game are really precious. So, all right. Sorry, transport fleet is army. Mine's called transport fleet 1. So I sometimes call them transport fleet, but armies basically. They're landing armies, and they cost in minerals to build and 90 days each, and you have to do them. Usually at either stations or on planets that have some kind of planet supporting it. Military fleets over here, these are the ones that you actually fight things in space, because this is a really kind of a thing I find is really nice about the RP of how the physics would work. Because if you think about it, if you have a spaceship that has a whole bunch of guns on it, you are not going to be able to build that thing to be able to land on a planet. The amount of landing procedures and takeoff procedures are ridiculously difficult to do. That is the biggest problem with spaceflight. So if you're going to be in space, you have these things constructed in space, and that way they have a whole bunch of guns and armor and stuff like that to defend themselves. Whereas the transport fleets are a whole bunch of little things that all individually land because they can do so that way, and they are just transporting a whole bunch of dudes, but that's all they can do. So kind of a nice little feature that they did. Troop carriers, yes. So you can make armies go up to space and send them to other. You can't up in space and send them to other planets. You have to actually, in order to land on a planet, you must have armies. Military fleets can take down stations and anything in space, but all planets and places where you can live must be taken down by armies, and it's that and they have no defensive capability in space, so you have to defend them, and that is a logistical issue. So that's one of the major things. There are different types of armies. Yes, there are different types of armies. You can have cannon fodder, but the difficulty is you can't control which one of them go first. You have different types of armies. Right now, we only have one, and that's our basic one. Mine are called Pebbles because I like putting little in-jokes everywhere for my species. But the one that I really like is there's two big ones that are going to come out. One of them is called Xenomorphic Armies, and the other one's called Clone Armies. Get the Clone Armies because they are cheaper and they're not so much weaker that they're not worth getting, and they take way faster to build. One of the biggest problems with these things is they take 90 days. And you might think that that's not that bad, but in the context of where you want them, it's bad. Like in Star Wars, the battleships are big, but need to transport them to land on troopers. Yeah, send my ships to a planet. You can also bombard, though. Planets must be taken by force. Exactly. Excellent. Hello. Damn right. And over here, I do want to get 2 more. But I'm also trying to time when we're going to be getting our mining. Okay, we're going to get 2 more because I want 5. I want 5 for that landing. Okay. There we go. First system, fully surveyed. Beautiful. Construction ship, you can build that one immediately. And you can then chain, because, why not chain it if you know where you're going to go next? Because I'm playing as a Lithoid Devouring Swarm and I'm going to be skipping over systems, I'm going to be chaining over to this system over here and be able to grab that border. While this one, oops, sorry, I didn't do that very efficiently, can move over here. I know I didn't do it very efficiently because it was yellow at the beginning. That means it actually went to the center of the system, and that means I fucked it up slightly. This one, done. You're going to come out here. You're going to explore over here. Remember, clone armies have low morale, I think it was. Never use them. So I might be mistaken. Who cares about morale? They're about to go into a war and get shot in the face and die. They are cannon fodder. Why do you care about morale? I've never seen that as a bit of an issue. They take they're 1/3 the amount of time to create as a normal one, and they have 3/4 the strength. I immediately build them as soon as I can, and I just cannon fodder. That's the cannon fodder. So that's I actually found that when I was really impressed with Xenomorphic armies because they are the opposite. They cost a lot of resources and they're really strong, but I actually found that they didn't actually hold up under pressure, and the clone armies did. because they can just die easily, and it's not that bad of an issue. If they have no morale left, they may take a lot more damage. Yeah. Well, I guess I guess the issue here is that how low morale can they really get in a hive mind? Like, they don't have free will. So, it might be because I have a hive mind that makes it more feasible. I've never really had a big morale issue with my transport fleet. Oh, nor have I cared about their lives while they have morale issues. If I'm a machine, I can't clone. Is there an equivalent? That's a good question. I think there might be an assembly of a cheaper version, probably. Or maybe you can clone. It might be one of the two. Okay, so this science ship came down here. Ooh. Is that going to connect to a whole bunch of stuff? Or is it going to... See, this is the issue. We have two different directions. This one might connect to several things. This one also... I think this one's going to be a dead end over here. We do have a planet over here, which is beautiful. Love seeing those planets come about. I just send wave after wave at the enemies. Congrats if you get the Congrats if you get the reference. Wave after wave at the enemies. If it's a very specific one, then I probably don't. I mean, the only reference I'm getting is horde mode. Wave after wave. Is it a song? I don't know. Maybe I missed it, probably. That's okay. Okay, so this science ship, so this one likely is, that might not connect. That might connect. Futurama. Ah! That's Captain Brown. That's Brannigan. Now I got it! I wasn't reading it with the right tone. I just send wave after wave of men at the enemy until they die.
Anomaly found.
No, we're not doing anomalies yet. Okay. Transfer fleet's only up to 2.
Scientific breakthrough.
Okay, so first research complete. You're going to get this big sign. And then it will never happen again. So I always put it on automatic research. That's just in case you forget. In here, let's see. Corvette hull points. Thing I like about the Corvette hull points is it does make them stronger. Thing I don't like is that I'm not going to make much of an investment in Corvettes anyway. I want to upgrade to destroyers as soon as possible. Ceramo metal armor is going to help with defense, and that's going to be a good, but I think this one's going to help too much with our fundamental economy, because this is going to help with our resources, especially as a lithoid. I mean, how can I not pick geothermal fracking at this one? So yeah, every single one, you just got to make that decision. It was against kill robots, if I remember. Wait, was that against the killbots? Or it could have been, it could have also been, right, because they won the war against the bouncy balls. So they didn't need to do that. Oh yeah, it was a story of him having done that when they were at war against the bouncy balls. Right. I know way too much about that series. Oh, okay. Here, I'm going to get new colony start with 1 additional population. That's mainly because this one doesn't help me as much. So yeah, you want to take a look at these ones, see which ones are specifically helping you, but 1 additional population is really going to help with our invasion of planets. We did get this one, but we're not going to be able to invade it until a transport fleet has 2 on, because has our 5, because I don't want to move them until we have our 5. He did it to overload the kill counter, yes. He was able to win the war by okay. So, we're coming up north here. We're immediately seeing that this is actually not going to continue north, it seems. But we are going to get planets over here, giving us 1 potential border over here only. And that's a nice little bottleneck of a situation. I like that for defensive capabilities. So, again, always adjusting your situation based off of what intel you're going to... Yes! And a planets! Beauty! Look at the number of planets we got in here. That's going to get it for excellent development. Because if you think about it, all we need to... We already have this one blocked. If we can block around here, boom, that's guaranteed to be ours. Oh, joy. All right. Science ship, you're going to come over here and get that one started. Because you're already kind of locked into that system area. And I want to get that one flowing this way. Although, we could just do it from here. But that's kind of surveying the last one. Because I'm going to... get them in turn. So yeah, we'll go back, especially since we're right back here, so it doesn't take long for the scientists to come back over here. So, yeah, come back over here. Survey the crap out of that one. This one's going to go and discover over there. Invade in a peaceful way. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna put these ones out of their misery. So that's going to be our invasion for them. Excellent. System survey over here. We're going to be able to expand our knowledge of this region while also, again, skipping over this one because I'm a lithoid and it's going to cost twice as much. See, 75 and 100. It doesn't cost twice as much alloys, by the way, because it still costs the one system. It just costs more influence, and I don't care about my influence that much. That might be dangerous, but again, we have. You'll see. I don't have claims. Claims are a big thing for wars. It's one of the main reasons I love playing as a devouring swarm. Is because without claims, you could just keep going and going and going. It's beautiful. Anyway, oh, this one's gonna have a border over here and over here. Which one do we want to check first? This one. Yeah, especially with the jaggedy ends coming up this way. I think that would be really nice. Like these angles are really nice for coming back this way. So we flow through here. Boom! Planets. Nice. And dead end. Beautiful. Come up here. See what we're dealing with. Is it another dead end? Or what? Okay, so we're just kind of exploring these ones. Seeing what we have so that we can actually make decisions. So, more planets out here. This planet currently outside of our potential range. So not something we get to consider. But we have lots of planets inside our current range. So that's really nice. Okay, first contact. Ooh, a first contact over here. That might mean we might have some intelligent people over here. When we get first contact, this is what we do. We go with our envoys and we assign someone to the envoy. That's as simple as it is. Now, depending on your species type, you'll have more or fewer envoys. I am not a very friendly species, apparently. So I have 2. Some of them might be intelligent species, some of them might, but I haven't found, now this might be intelligent species, it might not though. So I haven't found any sure signs of intelligent species, like ones that you can actually go to war with. You might have something that will like get in the way, but not like some space animals or some shit like that, which, again, I'm gonna probably not do too much of the reading of all the stories involved so that you can do that on, you know, because the stories are kind of really fun to do. But I've already read them all. Well, that might not be true anymore. I might have gotten some DLCs I haven't read. Okay, I might have to do some more of that. But, you know, it also takes a lot of time when I'm doing this. Okay, so that makes sense. Keep coming around here. Keep coming up here. This one, I know this one comes up here, but I don't know where else it goes. So, yeah, a lot of... And I'm just realizing probably a good idea to do a bit more development on our planet. Because I didn't end up building that mining district that I really wanted to build. Remember? Okay, planet still developing very well, and our alloys, as you can see, up to plus 18. Still lower, but getting closer to that 20 that I said before. So you need to build defense on the nodes that block the others to your base, so you protect all behind systems. Oh, okay, that's a good point. I'm not actually explaining that one fully. Let's get this one first, and then I'll show you what I mean by that more specifically. Here I've got a choice between either doing Star-based influence cost or doing population growth. I would suggest for you doing Star-based influence cost, but for me, population growth because I'm lithoids and again, influence. So I'm going to do that one. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a pro move after that. Maybe not actually, because I'm noticing the timing with these planets is such that sometimes I don't do one full tradition all at once. I do splits. But it depends on context. In this context, I might do the full tradition, actually, because I have a lot of these things. Anyway, no, you asked that very good question. Defense nodes. So what I'm actually doing here is it's not so much a defense node in the sense of actually providing defense, but potential defense. What it actually is it's more of a political defense. And if you think about the different species that you're going to get, it has to do with the politics and around how wars are declared and how movement works. So when you find a species, any kind of species, there are 2 major categories of species. Those that are just kind of spacefaring and don't actually have any kind of organized empire, which those can exist in one individual system that might cause hostilities, that might block you or something like that. Then there's the ones that are actual empires that have colonies and that kind of stuff, and they're developing. Now, those ones there are rules of engagement for every kind of war that you are going to fight. Now, even as a devouring swarm, one of the rules of engagement is that if I have, for example, you can see the borders here. If I'm bordering someone else and I have made first contact with them, I know that they're there. If I have closed borders with them, in order for them to go through that system, they have to declare war on me, or I have to allow them to go through my system with borders. Now, there is an exception. Before you've actually made full contact with an intelligent species, you're first going to be making like what we're doing, the same thing we're doing here. This first contact we're doing here, investigation that we're doing on this one, that's going to be happening to an intelligent species as well. And during that time, a species can pass through your systems. Now, you could attack those. They're neutral. That's considered neutral territory. So you could attack them. They're neutral fleets. And you could show that you're an enemy. But they do have the diplomatic ability to go through your systems. What I'm effectively doing is by creating a starbase here, I put an official border here. And by putting an official border there, once official borders are made with others, they will not be able to pass any kind of any construction ships through to be able to use influence to grab these systems. So I'm just taking away any practical systems through the game mechanism for them to actually take these systems and buying myself more time to actually develop them on my own. And that's the strategy behind there. Gee, Jesus, have I taken a fuck you stick and whacked my head over repeatedly? A lot of my planets have a low food district cap. Oh, math's constantly making your life a little bit harder. And coming in with a lot of really advanced stuff. Oh, I should probably explain what I'm doing here. Okay, so we have 3 different options here. We have to choose what we're going to do. This one's the cheapest, and it does a research modifier for the entire empire. This one will help you with a little bit with your defense, which is good, but it's not a research modifier for the entire empire at the beginning. And this one brings you energy grids, which makes your energy a little bit more efficient, but again, not a modifier for your entire empire. Also, this one's the cheapest to do. So, you know, even though those ones are really good, I want this one the most. Next science. Ooh, we got that one. Now we have a choice between bioreactor, edicts fund, or naval capacity. Edicts are somewhat okay. They're good in the sense that they can bring you, I can show you edicts in a moment. They're mostly good though because they open up other tech. There's also naval capacity. And normally I would also like this one, especially at the beginning, because our naval capacity is only 26. And we have 3. I don't know that I need it that much, though. And here's the thing. There are very few ways that you can get edicts in this game. There are more ways that you can get naval capacity increasing with other technologies and other things. So on the preponderance of things. Also, I don't need a bioreactor because the bioreactor is built for food. And I'm not doing food. So I think on this one, it's going to be between these 2. No, fuck it. I'm going to do a naval capacity. I think naval capacity is going to be a little bit nicer just because I want to be a bit more militant heavy. And I really don't like being blocked on this one. 26 is not going to be that much. So if we do end up having baddies, it's going to be a problem. What do we have here? Okay. See this? This is a starbase. What that means is this is an intelligent baddie. Even though I haven't met them yet fully, I know that. They're an intelligent baddie. And they're going to have an empire that's going to continue on this way. That means that we've got, what do we have down here? Is this going to be a bottleneck? Is that, I want to know if that connects or not, because this system is now the next bottleneck. If this system would potentially theoretically cut them off if this is not connected, and given the distances over here, it's very feasible that it's not connected. So the question is, do we want to come back to check it first, or do we want to go straight here and do a survey that could potentially land us the system with a planet and give us a nice defense? And I think I'm going to go with the latter on that one. I'm going to survey this one. You'll notice as I come into survey here, it doesn't actually tell me much detail. That's a bit annoying. We'll have to wait until we get into that system to get a little more detail about how many things are going to be surveyed. Okay, over here we got traditions, and right, we're gonna be following up on our traditions over here. Boom, boom, expansion. Oh, gonna get another one. Might as well. Boom. This one, empire size from system plus 25, empire size from planets plus minus 25. Very good. So our empire size is gonna be improving. So we're just general efficiency there. Okay. Oh, transport fleets. You are full now. That means full in the sense that they're full of the how many I purchased. I'm now going to use these ones to land. So what we have to do is we come into the system and we go here and land armies. You see, landing armies on non-hostile planets will turn them hostile. Should we proceed? You always get the warning. I know that, yes, I do want to attack them. So yes, I do want to proceed. You always get that warning. So, because they're never hostile usually. You won't get the warning if you're doing it on a hostile planet that you're actually at war with. Is it KFC? It is hard to tell. They are primitives. They are an Iron Age primitive. And I can't get espionage on them. So... Feudal noble, warrior, scholar, cleric. The Nagyari. Is there anything I can find out about them? The Premies? I don't think I can see anything. No intel. They are humanoids. Well done. I don't know how you figured that out, but well done. I like how I'm doing a tutorial effectively, and I'm not the one who is the most experienced at this. Population tab. Population, low stability, migration. Where does it say that? Oh, they're militant. I know that. Hover over the job. Ah, humanoid. There we are. Humanoid. Yes. Militarist. Well, they got their wish. Oh.
Construction complete.
Oh, good. Well, this one is the Renaissance Age. And these ones... Ooh, what are these ones? Now that I know how to do that. These ones are avian. These are the KFC for you. Enjoy. Oh, feudal nobles. So we got some avians over here that we're going to be able to enjoy. And, you know, we'll land on them after we're done landing on this one. And, of course, over here, we got a planet. Which planet we get? Mining, mostly. 12 districts. I'm liking it. It looks pretty beautiful. And, of course, habitability at 70% because I'm a very hyper-habitable species. You're going to notice almost everything's going to be either yellow or green for me. Looks like the Cyclops, the humanoids, just based on their skin color. Well, the one I'm more concerned about is the one that's going to be out here. And I really want to be able to grab this system so we can block this region. We did build this one up. The question is where... you know what? I think I'm actually going to send this one over here. Because that way... Oh, yes. Also, by grabbing this one, we do get to visually see this area right there. And I can't confirm anything back there, but... Plus 22? That is a heavy fucking system to get. Damn. I mean, they haven't started, but this is a 45 plus 2. Assist. It's going to take a while for that to happen, but we're going to do an assist on that one. This one in here is at... I'm going to let this one go until it's 100%. See? 100% done. It's current order. And now I'm going to cancel it. Lost nothing. That's a really great way to make sure you don't have to be dedicated to one system. Don't worry about it. We're going to send these ones, all 3 of these down here. Let's try to grab this system before he can try to make a border there and hold that border. Grab as much as we can.
Victory shall be ours.
Okay, this one. Now, I don't think this is going to continue on. It looks like it's probably not. The only way it might be blocking is if there's a nebula. Nebulas can prevent you, so you can't always know until you get into that system. Oh, Empire grows. Yes. Beautiful. So that's just the message that you get when you go in. Now, I just grabbed this one. When you get a primitive, almost always they have a agriculture district. You may want to keep that. I'm always deleting it, because demolishing it, because A, it costs some upkeep, and B, I don't want food. I'm also going to go in here to change the designation to a mining world. This is basically just what you're going to just want to make it. You know, usually these worlds, you want to start with something that's going to be what it's best for, what you're going to be needing, and I usually use the designation A, to help me do that, and B, to get more stuff out of it, because you get, not only does it help you with the construction speed of the actual districts for that, but it also means that your output is going to be up by 25%. Over here, as you can see, we have 0 out of 1, 2, 0 out of 1, and 0. That means we have no dudes in here. Undesirables, 9. This is going, if we let a month pass, we're going to see in population, it's going to be declining, and it's declining by 50. That means that it takes 2 months to kill off one population. It'll be available in 18 months. And then I'll show you how to colonize planets, because it'll be the first planet I'll be able to colonize. Ironically, it's taking me a little bit of time to get to there. This science ship has reached this region and nothing, so we now can come over here. Sorry about that. Grab that system, and I'm going to actually chain it to survey this one. That way it's going to control that one. That's just, you know, it tells you to do a chain order, how to do that. That way, you know, you don't have to pay attention that much. The other thing I'll be showing later on is how to use automated surveying, because that can help sometimes with doing automated surveying. Okay. The biggest question right now is how this one's going to come about. Now, I don't want to move. I can either at this point build another construction ship to come and build stuff over here. That is a possibility. Or we can wait. Those are the options. I don't know if I want to build another construction ship. That does cost some. I'm really min-maxing at this point. You feel free to build one. Transport fleet. I'm going to actually tell them to come over here and land on this one. I forgot to do that before, but it does need to get this one because it's also a primitive. And I really want that station, but I know that there's really not much more of a direction to go after this. So that I'm not going to need more than one construction ship for this whole thing. Yeah, I'm going to wait. That might be foolish, but too bad. So we have almost two science ships coming in here. Okay, expansion. We can now complete expansion. This is going to allow us to get our first ascension perk. Now, again, you can debate what is the best, and it's all going to be A, dependent on your species and what you're trying to do, and B, what the fuck you want. But C, this one's really good. We start off. And this one's really good. And this one's really good. And it also depends on what you want to do. I'm going to go with one vision. And the reason I'm going to go with one vision is monthly unity goes up by 10%, which is, you know, this is using traditions, which is aided by unity. So it's kind of like giving its own acceleration. Population amenities usage. Well, I mean, okay, cool. And governing ethics extraction, fucking useless for me. But you know what? You can't win them all. The other one I really like, I'll probably be doing next, is empire size from planets minus 50%. This is good, but it also suggests that you actually have other colony planets. Because what's the point of having the empire size reduced so that you don't actually have a problem? You know, the bigger your empire is, the more unity it takes to hold it together. So you want the empire size to be smaller so that it takes fewer resources to handle it. And so this is really good, but it's only really good if you have a lot of planets. If you don't have a lot of planets yet, do something else that kind of builds your unity. This is good if you want to get more research speed. It also brings in other rare technologies. This is good if you want to do Starbase influence cost. This is very good if you want to be, if you're doing diplomacy stuff and you're trying to get as many stations as possible, do interstellar domination. Nihilistic acquisition, very good for the raiding bombardment. This is excellent if you're doing necroids or anything where you can easily grab populations from other people and integrate them into your society. Executive vigor. I'm not sure what this is good for as a species. It sounded so much ruder than I meant it. Leader experience gain plus 25% scientist capacity. This is going to be excellent if you're going to be doing a lot of very heavy science stuff, but not wanting to do technological. So maybe not that. I don't know. This one, I'm not sure why this would be a good first one. Anyway, I'm going to go with one vision on this one. I really like one vision to start. It gives acceleration to its own thing. Okay, science ships. We now have, now here you can see we have 2 science ships in the same system. And that means that the number of orders is going to be convoluted. Like this one is going to go from 0. You're going to notice as we go through this, it's going to jump down from plus 22 to lower than that. And it's going to depend on what the other science ship is doing. But it's going to reassess after every...
Anomaly found.
No, I'm not doing anomalies right now. I'm doing something else. So cancel that. And yeah, and then... Oh, it only went down to 21. Never mind. Now, one thing you'll... I do know is that you could cancel it and redo it and it'll be a different number. Here, when this one's done, it will just stop. And if you chain it, then it will go to another place after it's done. Ooh, our empire grows. Perfect. So this planet taken over. I'm going to take out the agriculture because I don't want it. And then I'm actually going to just tell it that it's a mining world because I'm going to have it be a mining world later. But again, this one, we have to purge the 12. That's going to get us some food. That's why food's going up, but it's not very useful for us. And are we getting any science out of that too? We get a little bit of science too. We're studying their society as we destroy them. So, very helpful there. Okay. This science ship is coming to help. Still on its way. I think what I would like to do is, especially this one, I kind of want to have a more accurate assessment of what's going on here. Right, you always will have instability on... This is an low stability. Low stability is going to happen on planets that you've just invaded. I mean, that's pretty obvious. A lot of these things are just notifications that you can somewhat ignore for the most part. And a lot of the game is learning what information you can ignore as well as what you should pay attention to. Okay, so we got first contact that's going to be continuing on. Unfortunately, I can't nab them because a non-military vessel within sensor range, which apparently I don't have. So keep at it. That can be nice, but it does also mean that we're going to make an enemy of them. Oh, another observation post. That's a primitive down here. That's a Renaissance age. Not a major threat. So, because they're not too advanced, they're not going to become into a big problem, but we will invade that one. If it was atomic or industrial, it would be different.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Ooh, okay. Nice. Now that one's done. We have a choice between planetary build speed, mining subsidies, or afterburners. Now you might be thinking planetary build speed would be really good, and you'd be right. But I also love afterburners. Afterburners are really helpful to get your ships going a lot faster. The concern I have with planetary build speed is that I'm pretty sure it's only the build speed and it's not the development speed. And I don't actually care that much about the build speed if you think about it. The build speed is basically when you're actually colonizing a planet, how fast that planet is colonized. But it doesn't, that amount of time is not my chief concern. And I really, is it? We are right before colonizing a whole bunch of planets because of the weirdness. Usually I've colonized a planet by now, but this one's a bit weird. Okay, so first off, transport fleets, they're finished. I'm going to move them back onto this one, just in orbit, just so that they're ready to invade this. By the way, you can't invade a planet if you don't own the system, obviously. You have to own it to invade it. So... we also probably could be doing some more development on my home world. I forgot to do a few things in here. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right, so here you can see 8 mining drones are favored. We're getting tech drones coming in. From experience, I know that we're going to need to have a hive district, another hive district. They're going to have a problem with population on your main planet always. You're going to have to do that in the first 10 years. I'm also going to take off all of our blockers here. You always have 3 at the beginning. And they cost 300 each, so that's going to be useful. That all takes time, just things you have to deal with. You'll have symbols that will show you the blockers and whatnot. Okay. So that's all happening. Very good. And of course our science ship is going to hopefully discover and be able to build up this planet. It's got some generators to start. Got some industrial. That's going to help with mining.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, so here we have a choice between three things. This is blockers, this is fleet command limit, and naval capacity. While these two are very good, I do like naval command limit the most out of these three. So I'm going to allow that one to go forward. Keep going. Perfect. And that's 15 months. Right. Is this really the best one to pick? It is the cheapest one. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. And now, science ships, how you guys doing? They're not really, and all three of them are now in the area properly. I'm gonna just tell this one to cancel, and then tell it to do the same thing again because I just want to have an accurate view of how many is actually has to do. So we have 10 things that need to be surveyed. One of them is being surveyed, and the other ones are being done by 3 different ships. That triples your speed, and means that this is going to be done very quickly. However, this one, when you're done, I'm going to want you to come over here. And then this middle one, I'm going to chain to survey over here. All right. And the third one, I didn't chain this one. But we could chain it to survey this one there. Perfect. We already have the construction ship ready to go. Which is good because I think... Look at that. Look at that. You can always tell the timing of the enemy by what they're doing. This is a science ship. You can tell by the fact that it's scanning the planet. And that means that they're just starting it, and it's a huge thing. So we're probably going to get the system. Because they're only sending one fucking science ship in there. Sometimes at the end of something, it'll be like, oh, we're not doing anything. Just let it do its thing.
Survey complete.
View done. Build it, and once we're done with that one, I'm actually going to chain this one. I think the construction ship to get this one because I delayed it so long. I want you to come up here and grab that one. Planet, now able for colonization. You can see here. And this is where my species type is going to be really important. You can either go into your shipyard and do it over here. You can see I have a colony ship here, but I also have a lithoid meteorite. And that's just going to be because in this one, am something called calamitous birth. This is the origin of my species. If you're doing prosperous unification, you're not going to have this option. You can also do this in your cosmography tab under expansion planner. I would suggest you press colonizable so that you can actually easily see all the stuff that you can colonize very quickly without having to examine every single planet manually. So you don't always have to be able to see where the planets are. You can always find them this way. And that's one of the benefits of being able to have multiple ways of finding planets. This Arctic world, I'm going to just go in there. And as you can see here, I can choose which species I am going to use to colonize it. This one, I know, because it costs 250 minerals and 100 alloys, is a colony ship. But this one only costs 250 minerals. Now, this one could explode. I've never had it happen, but there's a slight risk. This one is the calamitous birth aspect. And it's because we can basically just send an asteroid to colonize. It's just a special thing. I really like this one because, A, it helps me with it. I don't have to spend 100 alloys on every single planet that I'm building. This is a really precious resource right at the beginning of the game, so very difficult to make a lot of development with that, I find. But if you're, depending on your species type again, if you're doing something in robots, you've probably figured out another way to mitigate that. Here, I can A, fix that at the beginning, get a lot of construction very easily with that one, and B, during wars, I can not distract from my military by being able to continue to colonize planets even if I'm fighting a war. So let's get this really beautiful border over here. While our other planets our other systems are now going to be researching these planets, and that one science ship, which is going to come and check to see what kind of... Oh, we do have a border over here. Shit. That... So we have a border over here and over here. We're going to have to... I did construct this one already. That's fine. I like the position of it. But we're going to have to decide whether that's going to be considered outside of our border or inside. And what's going to happen over here. Because that I was kind of not expecting. Again, you have to wait until you're right at the end. Because you might not get some different way you're expecting. Okay. Here, second option depends heavily on what you're doing. A lot of these are really, really good. But for the most part right now, I would like to have some develop. It's either going to be between supremacy or prosperity. I'm going to act more defensively right now, and I really want to get all of our planets up to scratch. So I'm going to actually start with prosperity. And this is going to be something that's going to really help. If you can use prosperity, the one right here, prefabricated buildings, is exceptional for helping you develop your planets by reducing the cost of all your districts, which is precisely what you're building at the beginning. So a lot of the time, finding out ways to time all of the different development of one thing with all the different development of other things is key to being able to play the higher difficulties and min-maxing your species and being able to make the best of your empire. Okay, so we've been able to do this one. I don't see any reason in not colonizing this planet except for the fact that it has an anomaly. That can happen. That's another reason why you might want to do anomalies, is you cannot survey planet. You can't colonize a planet that has an anomaly, but you can colonize a planet in a system that has an anomaly as long as the anomaly is not on the planet. Oh, that was a mouthful. Okay. It's a lot of information. Okay, in that case, we're gonna leave it for now because it's outside of our empire and that's a lot of work to do. So it was mostly for the position that we were getting that system anyway. And now that I see that this is continuing out here, this is more going to be likely the bastion. And that I was about to put a bastion here because this was going to be closed off. And that was the only direction. Now we have two different possible borders, and that is going to complicate things immensely. Okay. Coming around this region, we do have a planet right off the bat in here, which means I'm going to tell this one to come over here. I know that we have this one over here, but I think it's probably more important to grab this one now. +5, because that's going to get a nice little bit of a border system, unless... How's this one? This one's at a +9, is it? Okay, this one's going to get a double, because it's right next to this one. I'd like to be able to build it up. Construction ship, you're going to... you're already building up here, huh? Grabbing that one? Okay, you're going to chain to come and move back here so that where you're in position when the time comes. I think we're going to have good timing on that one. And then these science ships, when that's done, yeah, this one will study this one, and then we'll move on beyond here so we can actually hold that position. I think maybe we'll go and try to grab this region. Whoo! Science. 3 things. We got combat, basic combat roles. This is going to be really helpful for being able to decide what kind of formations your military ships are taking when they're actually fighting wars. It's not a current consideration right now because we don't have any of those yet, and we're going to be doing defensive platforms first. Fusion reactor, really good again for developing your... you know what? I'm going to do it this time. I want that prepared. I want that advanced, and that is going to be part of the chain for getting up to jump drives eventually. So let's get that one advanced. Transport fleets are just waiting over there. And the other science ships, sorry. Science that we have to do. Ooh, fleet command limit increased. Population growth speed. I need this as a lithoid especially. It also leads to other technology. And of these 3, I prefer it. I like the most. Okay. Whoo. Now, one thing I am on Iron Man mode, by the way. So one thing I consider when I do Iron Man mode, because I can't just load every save, is I have it every quarter. I'm just going to move to a safe spot. That's a nice little spot to be in. Saving game right there. Boom. And that's something we'll be working with a little bit later with some little moves. But for right now, I think it's time for a little break. Woo! So I'm just going to go be on for 5 minutes. So take your time to stretch, get some water, what have you. And yeah, I've been Captain Jeskard of Starship Acanthus. Scene 5. This is Captain Jeskard of Starship Acanthus. Welcome back from the break. Or if you're just joining now, welcome aboard. We are developing a new empire, and I'm going from the very beginning and trying to explain as much as I can. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Helps me direct exactly where I should be doing my explanations. And yeah. Okay. So, transport fleet over there is waiting around. I'm just going to basically, when you take a look at it again, you just kind of reassess where you are, what's going on. It's also good to, what's going on in here. Right, hive is being built. Still a bunch of crap after that. We do have, now at the beginning, you're going to be looking at your resources a fair amount, trying to make sure the numbers are okay. Keep them positive. I'm trying to get the minerals higher, and I want this one to be, well, thing is, it is a good resource to have, but you also don't want it to be so ridiculously high that you're not investing in other stuff. So, yeah, it's all about balances. Balance, balance, balance. All right, let's continue it going forward. I think what we're doing... Oh, okay, system surveyed over there. Construction ship. Building... Ooh, where is the building? It's going over there. It's going to take a little while to get all that done. Oh, well. Now I'm realizing why sometimes it might be good to have another construction ship. Still, I'm going to stick to it at the moment. I mean, at least building that one up there.
Conquest of a new world.
It's not... If this was atomic, I would not do that. I would build another construction ship, but it's not an atomic, so I'm not going to. And that... Okay, so that science ship is going to come down to here, because that's where we chained it to. We have 2 over here and 1 over here. Okay, we still have 3 different planet systems with planets over there. I'm thinking this dude. He's going to have to come out of here anyway. Why don't you come and chain to survey that one? There we go.
Blocker cleared.
And over here, we want to grab, I mean, probably this port, at least.
Anomaly found.
No, more anomalies. Astral threads. Okay, those are going to come in very handy if you have astral threads DLC or expansion. I'm not sure which one it is. We do have some astral threads over here, and those are going to be able to develop astral actions, which astral actions, by the way, it's kind of like a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6 kind of thing. And you can tell by the top, you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 astral rifts that you need to have in order. You have to have fully researched 1 in order for this to open. Fully researched 2, fully researched 3, fully researched 4, fully researched 5. They each open up different skills. This was, you know, and we'll go through them as, you know, as the game progresses. Actually, I should go through them really quickly right now, just in case. So this is the standard one that you're going to get at the beginning. Gain physics insight, very useful. It's a standalone, very nice. This one is going to allow you to get another rift sphere technology. It also is going to open up another potential rift. So you can this one is the thing that allows you to make sure that you can get more done. So it is good to use this one. There's also a couple in here. This one's a phased fleet. This one's a jump. You can kind of tell that it's going to be a jump because you require jump drive to have it. These are a couple hints that you can find in here. See, this one has wormhole stabilization technology, so it's going to be something wormhole-y. Jumpy. Something. Can't remember. Is that quantum catapults? I think that's quantum catapults, maybe. Or maybe this one. Anyway. Yeah, and then you have artifacts over here, and you have relics over here as well. You're going to have to get those. Those are all through things like anomalies and archaeological sites. And we'll get to archaeological sites if we get an archaeological site. We haven't actually found an archaeological site yet. Or a nebula.
Blocker cleared.
So, yeah. Those things will arrive there. We'll get there. Science ship. Ooh. You're done over here. Does that mean that this one is at... No, you're just being a lazy fucker? Oh, okay. This one is probably miscategorized. Oh, no, it's fine. It changed. And now it's correct. See, it's at 12%. This one is just... It's not doing anything because it doesn't have anything left to do. Okay, you can either come out here... We really need to take a look at what's going on out here. Observation post, that's another primitive. Okay, primitive down here, Stone Age. Not much of an issue for population. We're going to have to take it down, but again, not a big rush, and we're going to take down that system anyway. So not much of a change in what we were doing. This dude, however, can probably actually... Let's explore down there with this one, and you can come down this way. So we have 2 science ships, both going different directions. Good. This construction ship is now going to have something to build when it comes back, and you... let's do this one, why not? It's we don't need to send any more down this way to investigate. Oh, is this gonna circle back? Oh boy. Ooh, it is circling back-ish. Hold on. But it's also gonna continue out here, no? Does it continue over here? Okay, keep going, keep going. This is really adjusting how you're going to strategize about this border region. We got another primitive. Atomic age. Atomic age. Issue. We have to take this down. Okay. Changing plans immediately. This one is... See, 0%? Cancel. Do it again. I'm not going to move him out of position and not do it. want to, because it was doing a different order completely. I'm going to cancel that order because it wasn't doing anything. And then we're going to chain to build this one down here. World go boom! Damn right. Absolutely. If you're going to be an atomic world, we do not want this to become an intelligent empire. So we absolutely have to get in there and invade that one. And that means getting in here and invading that one because it's on the way. And also colonizing that because it's on the way. Ooh, okay. Planet. Colonizable. See? This one? Boom. I don't actually need to select it individually. I'm just going to go over here. Boom, boom. And I'm using my calamitous birth again because why wouldn't I? This one is going to become... It's got generator and mining. It's already got a mining in it, but I'm going to be looking for generator because this one here, remember, we already have our mining covered a little bit. We're going to need energy somewhere. What does this one have again? Mining mostly. It's really favoring mining, and I'm going to want to put mining on that one. This one's kind of shit for mining, though. It's only got 4. We might want to put some just... What do you got? Mining as well. You got energy. Okay. What do you got? Energy over here. We got a couple generator worlds. That's good to see. Good to see. Okay. And we will be getting them in there. It's all timing, isn't it? Okay. This is what we're going to do. And what we're going to do. In order to make sure that... Because usually I would have this planet in here by now. You always have to like kind of have your adjustment on the as you go. And that's really where you get the ability to play the higher difficulty levels. Is if you could make... You know... You have to learn about what your standard good is and then try to adjust as you go to get to that. I'm going to put a generator in here. That's going to open up more generators. And it's going to delay how long it takes us to get another planet, or how long we need to get another planet that's going to be able to do that. I'm also going to throw another mining in there. It's going to, because I think getting a little bit more primary industry. I'm getting these planets in quite late this time because of the primitives. Usually I would have like a green planet right off the bat that I could just colonize. That has not happened here. So I think just getting a little bit of a district in there, allowing for a bit more energy to be able to potentially... maybe not. Our energy is already plus 38. Do we really need that? Let's get mining first, then a generator. That'll fulfill the mining, but then the generator is going to become a problem eventually. That I like a bit more. And it's still favoring... Yeah, I like that too. Push industrial just a bit. We have the resources for it, and I'm worried about this guy's presence, his existence. I also haven't figured out which station we're going to build our defensive platform in, which is really risky right now. As soon as you find the enemy, you should be building a defensive platform, and a station, and I should be upgrading it, but I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get a fix on what's going on over here. And we have to decide, are we going to build it here or here? This is good if we're trying to defend against everything. This is good if we're trying to defend both independently. I think we can afford a little bit more time as we're doing first contact with them to investigate what's going on. Does this connect?
Anomaly found.
Oh, more anomalies. No, it does not connect anywhere, but over here we're definitely going to have get connections or else it wouldn't make any fucking sense. That's going to be a bottleneck reaching out. So there's 2 major tactics here that we could do on him. We could either try to block him and therefore limit his size, but then also make sure that we are his fundamental enemy and ensure that he's going to try to do nothing but destroy us. Or let him construct through here, hold that defense really tightly, and allow him, because the thing is, sometimes sprawling isn't always the best thing. Okay, this science ship here. I think what we'll do with this science ship is we're going to just take it on an exploration down this region so we can actually see what's going on in that exit. And then over here... Yeah, we're going to be exploring the opposite direction. See where he is and... Okay, so this one is free. Whoa! We got a pulsar. Pulsars are a candidate for a quantum catapult. That's why it's important. I don't think they teach you that early doors in the fucking tutorial, do they? Yeah. I don't think that's an immediate consideration for something we're going to need, but it is really nice to have it there. The reason it's not an immediate consideration is we're not going to be getting quantum catapults probably until we've already destroyed this guy anyway. Just normal timing of the thing, so I'm not sure I'm necessarily going to push to try to grab that. See, that's the thing. If you first start playing the game and you go, oh, wow, quantum catapults, that's really awesome. I need to go get that. You might like gun for it. Then I'm like, I know I'm going to get it. Don't worry. All right, we'll split up these two directions.
Anomaly found.
Oh, another one. We're going to have a lot of anomalies to do, as you can see. Which is good, because we're going to be boxed in, as you can also see. We only have one major direction that we can go, and we're not sure who's boxing who in. Ooh, he still doesn't have anyone down here. He's very limited. What size is this dude? We need intel on that. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's come down here. We're going to have to get a visual on all of his junk. I'm now actually considering maybe a blocking. If he's not very big, it might be good to block him. Fuck. We want the construction ship coming down here to block that thing. Okay, fine. When you have a need for it, you have a need for it. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to, I think, given this space... Tentative, I'm going to have this science ship do a survey over here instead of researching. I want to see if there's anything in here. Do we have the timing to be able to pull this off? Sure. Oh, they will be tasty. Hello. First contact, advancing.
Scientific.
Okay, science, boom. Oh, that's afterburners. Excellent. Frigates are... I don't like frigates. Corvette hull points are not bad, but ceramo metal armor is also going to be effective with destroyers and all future things, whereas the improved Corvette builds hulls is going to be obsolete once we stop building Corvettes. So, do you really want the thing that's going to be obsolete? Volatile motes. Oh, good. Volatile motes are a tertiary industry. They're something that you can get. They allow for, they're in here. Rare resources, and that is being provided in this system. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned, I'm not actually doing any automatic construction in my systems. With a construction ship. Construction ships usually would construct all these, like these things here. They're being automatically constructed for me. And the reason is because I have this thing called Void Hive. Automatically generate mining and research station over a random unexploited deposit in a system we own every 4 months. Lacking the technology to exploit a given resource reduces output from it by 75%. So what that effectively means is I shouldn't do automatic construction of these things. And if there's anything like moats that are in here, I still get 25% of the moats, even if... because I don't automatically get constructed. So there's a couple little perks in there. But yeah, if you're playing normally as a species, you would want to actually construct these things. Just FYI. I forgot about that. Yeah, what I would normally do with it for a good system is have one construction ship at least expanding and one just doing automatic construction behind it. That can also leech on your minerals a bit, which is a bit frustrating sometimes. Okay, how are we doing for this system down here? Okay, I'm not doing the anomalies. No, we have so much position that we have to grab. Okay, Hugh, nothing. How small is this dude? Was this just like a primitive dude that actually expanded? It might have just been that. There's nothing in there. Okay, I think we're going to go for it. We're going to go into here, build a construction ship. That construction ship is going to be able to build this one up and then come up for a block. This one over here, you're at a +4. That'll be fine. By the time we get there... sorry about that. I think I nudged the mic. Just getting a bit of water. Okay. So we got our construction ship en route. This one I'm actually going to do a chain just to move here so that I don't have any delays. Especially since we have that douchebag in Atomic Age. I really want to get
System survey
Butte.
complete.
So this one's done. Okay. He does exist in this system. Okay, that's where he got to. So he's at least 1, 2. I don't know that he was a primitive necessarily. I don't know that if he was a primitive, I don't know if he would have gotten there by now. But I think that does mean that we're going to be trying for a complete box in. And that means building one there for blocking him, and then another one here for potentially creating that bottleneck. Whoo! If we can pull this off, I'm going to be really impressed, because this is not an easy move to pull off. Actually, sorry. Where are you? Ah, I already went too far. That was not the most efficient direction. See, the distance here would have made this direction a bit more efficient, but I've already pushed it too far, so I'll keep going with it. That one, yeah. And the reason I'm upgrading this one is we need the defensive capabilities. For these ones, you have to do not only an upgrade, but you want to actually do defensive platforms at the beginning, because they're the strongest ability to defend, especially if you're doing it against very high difficulty. You need to get those established right away. Okay, so yeah, we have something in here as well. This looks more like where they probably came from. Ooh, 2.5 thousand is their attack so far, with 700. So we're at 192. It's all going to depend on our defense over here, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting little douchebag to deal with. We're going to just explore these two systems before getting out of there and utilizing that one. We might as well get visuals on everything that he has while we're in the region. So I'm just going to explore each system so we can see them. And pause. I'm basically pausing the second that they get in there, because they do have a tendency to fly all the way to the friggin' middle of the system before they stop. And I kind of just want them to go straight to the next system. So if you're wondering about why I'm doing that stop-start in those places, they're almost all my pauses are timed to be in very precise locations for that kind of stuff. Construction ship, you are coming down here. I want you to do build a start. No, yes, that's... Oh, wow, we're going to do 3 in a row like that? Okay. I'm going to build that one, then move. Especially since, yeah, we do have to spend the time over here. He hasn't built very quickly, and it's a bit of a risk, though, to do that. Good for influence, but a bit of a risk. Okay, blockers are blockers. Or naval capacity from soldier jobs. That is good, but not quite good yet, because that's better for late game. That's when you're going to be needing that, because you're going to be trying to get soldier jobs. And defensive army damage, I mean, that I'm hoping not to actually... need to use that right now. So it's going to be one of these blockers, and it doesn't really matter which one it is, because they're both equally shit. They only do one. I mean, hey, oh, I mean, great. They both do one. Yay. Okay. Keep going.
System survey complete.
Oh, beaut. And that system. Scientists can now come up here to see what kind of other douchebags we might be dealing with. Right, this guy's almost able to invade that one. And then we have that one to do. We do also have the ability... Oh, industrial's already being built. You can see here. That's going very nicely. Energy's not doing too poorly, but I think it is time that we do synapse and research. Now, what I'm doing here for synapse and research is... This is going to be whatever, synapse is whichever you do that does unity. That's what you're looking for here, is unity. I like to, on my capital planet, kind of to develop those secondary resources a lot until I find other planets that are really good for them. I tend to already have a kind of algorithm that I use for finding really good planets for Unity if I need it. But you might have it as administrative zones or something like that. But this is going to be where you develop Unity. Unity usually costs either just generator, or energy, or energy and mining. This one's energy and mining. I tend to like to put synaptrons nodes in the same places as I put energy, but it can be an energy or mining. And I tend to like to put research in places that have a lot of minerals, and that's because research actually requires minerals. As you can see here, minerals takes 12.6, and you get a bunch of research out of that. So I'm going to start developing that on the capital, and then what I'm going to effectively be doing is looking for in colonies, places where that would be a really good secondary industry to develop. And I usually find that the best planets that have for a secondary industry to develop are the ones that lack good districts. So this one actually has a lot of really good industrial over here and some reasonable mining. So on this planet, I would probably start off with some mining and transition it into industrial afterwards. Then on every single planet, you kind of look at its composition. What is it going to do well, and how does that marry with what I'm doing in my empire? And also, how do those resources combine so that I could actually do it, have good flow? So I think for research areas, I look for planets that are kind of shit at primary industries, and I'm not sure if I'm seeing any immediately these days. Okay, here we have another planet we can colonize. This one, again, very good for minerals, so we'll definitely be landing that one. That's, again, with calamitous birth. We're going to be doing the asteroid because it's a meteorite. Sorry, asteroid meteorite coming into play again. Ooh, that debate. I suppose not much of a debate, just a confusion on my part. Okay, science ship. There's nothing in this system. Where should you come? There's not much of a point in coming down this area because we already have one science ship going down there, and that one seems to be enough. Nothing in here is worth researching because we're not going to be able to keep any of it. This one's already doing this one. We have several other planets over here that might be worth researching, but we also have some anomalies that are then useful to do. I also don't like to do the researching these other planets systems that I could get until for a little bit later, and the main reason for that is that because I'm so militant, I try to get my military going, and it's just a very heavy distraction from my military to be building up all these stations that cost 100 alloys each. You might want to develop it differently in your specific situation. You might be able to do anomalies at this point, because at this point we've kind of got to figure out what our position we're going to try to start with is. You might want to be looking into doing anomalies at this point, but I think we still want to get these planets. I think I'm going to go for planets. I'm just going to go survey over here. Help it out. It's going to be able to come through here because we don't have a first contact with him complete. And this is another thing. This dude, even though it's an intelligent empire, he could totally come out here and build this because he doesn't actually have official contact with us, which means there's no official anything, which means like these ones here. What are they? Actually, that's a good point. He's got a science ship in our system just surveying because he doesn't have any official contact with us. So what I'm going to do is, this is a bit risky because he could attack us if he wanted to. I'm going to take our the 3 original corvettes that they give us at the beginning, and I'm just going to tell them to go and attack this one. They're neutral, but that will just tell him you are near an enemy and I don't want you to come through here. Excuse me. Okay, construction complete over here. That allows us to immediately build this one. I'm just skipping again because a station because I am devouring swarm, and again, our war is not going to depend on getting claims, so influence is not that big of a deal. The Renaissance Age planet is going to have to be immediately invaded. That's what those transport fleets were for, and then those transport fleets are going to be eventually going. Oh, okay. So I guess he fucked off. He realized we weren't friendly. He realized we weren't friendly over here, and he fucked off. And our military ship has no orders now because it can no longer go to the thing it was attacking. So I'm just going to actually have it go back home. That's about it. I devour. Gobble, 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 gobble. Oh, I do. I guess I'm a little bit like a turkey that way. Gobble, gobble.
Initiating.
Ooh, turkey! Speak of the devil. Or peacock in this case, I should say. Oh, we made first contact with the Jazzian Society. Now, don't look for too much hope from that. That's just a little thing because this is a primitive. They're avian primitives. We're going to be killing them. We don't yet know what these douchebags are going to look like. But that's going to be a nice one to discover. Our empire grows. Yes, the invasion is complete, and we can destroy that food because I don't use food. You don't have to destroy it if you don't want to. But on here, I'm going to go to mining world. It already has a mining one made. And we don't get to do anything yet. 0 out of 2, 0 out of 1, 0 out of 3, 0 out of 2. We do not have anyone in here. We have to wait until this purges. That's going to take 24 months. While granting us a whole bunch of resources. Also, this is a good point to show you a little bit of a pro tip. You'll see here, we have +0 in our food because it's been a little while. Kentucky Fried Space Chicken. Oh, yeah. Over here, we have +0, and that's because we don't have any food coming in because we don't eat food and we're not developing food. But we also finished killing off and purging all the primitives that we had before. And that means in the galactic market, we cannot buy or sell food. But since we just invaded this planet and we just got a new species that we are purging, we are now going to be acquiring more food, and we are now going to let it pass 1 month. And with that food, we can go look in our galactic market. Oh, suddenly we can sell food. Boom. Ha ha. Name a planet. Ooh, Cheese Central. Fair enough. Ooh, that's going to have to be this one over here. Oh, our first planet is in. And it is getting named Cheese Central. Ooh, excellent. I love it too because this episode's probably going to end up on YouTube, but with the whole training aspect. This will be a live training session 1 or something shit like that. Well, Stellaris spawning. Now okay, I should probably explain what I'm doing there. Sorry. When I first get a planet, so this is the first planet. Oh, the first planet, everyone. Woo! Cheese Town will come later. Excellent. It's Cheese Central to start. The first planet, because I'm a lithoid, I'm going to focus on minerals. And that means but the first thing I want to actually build, because lithoids don't actually have very fast population development, and I have no migration because no one loves me, because they all hate me because I'm a devouring swarm. So the first thing I actually have to build is a spawning pool. Now you might be robots, you have to build robot assembly plants, or you might have some kind of equivalent kind of pool that you have to spawn out of, or you might be some kind of normal organic species that has sexual reproduction and all the lovely stuff that you've come to know and love. I'm going to build a spawning pool so that I can have my population increase. And that's something I have to do on every single planet. It's a big expense. Oh, shit. Prosperity has not come in yet. 4 more months until that one comes in. Damn it. I'm 4 months off. I'm actually... Pro tip, I'm gonna leave that for now because of that 4 months. Normally, I would start building up with the other mining stuff, but you'll notice here, it takes 360 days to do the spawning pools. And in 4 months, I'm going to have prosperity open, and I'm going to use this thing, and that's going to reduce the cost of districts. So I'm going to be able to make the next one at a lower cost. So I'm just going to wait. Rock cheese? Excellent. Keeping with my RP. Thank you. Okay, we have system survey complete. Okay, so this one's upgraded. This is upgraded to its first level. I'm going to call it level 1. The other one was level 0. Now, in here, we opened up 2 modules, and we got 1 building. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a building, and the building I'm going to build is not going to be a crew gestation chamber. This is crew gestation chamber is good if you want to reduce your docked ship upkeep. Resources. Well, you get extra resources in your potential maximums. This is okay. So to understand numbers, you get 5,000 here. Currently, our maximum is 15,000 on minerals, and it's currently 50,000 on credits. Credits is always higher than minerals, and then they kind of go down throughout. But then you have some other stuff you can, yeah, those are your maximums. So that's what that's all about. I don't need to do that right now, but that will be something we're going to be keeping an eye on, because those maximums are not nearly enough. Target uplink computer. This is going to help with your ship weapon range if you want. You can do it if you want. I don't really tend to build them that much. Communication jammer. This will affect the sublight speed of your enemies and the combat disengagement chance of minus 22%. So there's a 22% less chance that your enemies can get out of the system if they're attacking you and you're winning. And there is a 20% nerf on their sublight speed. This one is shield hit points effective. So they're not going to be as good at hitting your shields. So this is actually going to defend your system a little bit more. And that's why I'm going to put this one in, because it's actually going to be not just affecting their speed, but actually protecting us to be a little bit stronger. Now, here, depending on what module you want to build in, you could build it in shipyards if you wanted to. If you want to build shipyards, this is how you are able to build something that can make ships. Anchorage allows you to increase your naval capacity, which is over here. That allows you to build more and more ships. We have 3 out of 59. We have lots of space right now. We will have to build that up at some point, but not right now. And also not in this position. This is a defensive position. You don't want to build an anchorage in a defensive position. It doesn't do anything defensively. Solar panel network, I almost never build these, but if you need them, they are there where you can build in some things that make you some energy if you need them. That might be species specific if you have that desire. Okay, I'm going to build a gun. Now, the other thing is that there are several different types of gun batteries that can act very similar. There's torpedo batteries. There's other kind of stuff. There's also one that's like a Strikecraft one, and that one's a bit better because it has a little bit higher trade protection. It has a trade protection of 10, but we don't have the tech for that, so we're just going to do 2 gun batteries at the moment. Now, this species you can see here is not truly discovered in the sense that they don't have any borders. We haven't actually finished the first contact. Until they do, I am not building defensive platforms. The reason, they're expensive, but also because they can fight them and they can destroy them, and we don't get them, like, they're just gone. Darn. And they can just come in because there's no wars that they have to declare beforehand. But if we wait until we make first contact with them, that is not true. They would have to declare war. And then so what we'll do is we'll bank all of those out, because if we lose the system while we're not at war, then we don't get to have the the defensive platforms back, but these gun batteries will still remain there. So that's why I'm building the gun batteries, so that they're actually there. They also take a lot longer to build. These ones take 180. The gun batteries take, how long do the gun batteries take to build? They take 180 days to build. That's, half a year basically. The defensive platforms take 2 months, but they're ridiculously expensive. So they're fast, but so yeah, bank it. Just bank it on that one. So science ship, oh yeah, we're doing, getting those planets over here. You're coming around this way now, I suppose. You know what? Since it's coming around this way, why don't we just tell it to do anomalies? I don't want it to interfere with the other one, because this one's already surveying it. If this one here is surveying, has a survey order over here, this one will actually allow it. It basically has priority on at least one surveying one aspect of that system, and it will still be able to go there. So if that other one surveys everything else, it will actually not do the last thing that one has priority on. So in this case, I'm going to cancel that one off so that that one surveys properly and change its survey. Yeah, there's some a little bit weird stuff with coding sometimes, but that one I did anomaly and special projects. If you saw that, sorry, I'll do that again. Here, I'm taking off explore and survey because I don't want it exploring anything I haven't discovered. I don't want it surveying anything. I just want it doing anomalies and whatever special projects. I don't care what vocabulary they use. They're basically the same kind of shit. The only thing to remember is that debris is a special project, not an anomaly. So we'll go, actually, hold on. No. Let's get that anomaly over here that was specific to that planet so we can get that one. Huh? I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, this one over here, give it some more orders to come even further. That way it doesn't stop along the way. Transport fleets, you guys are done over here, so you're going to enter orbit over here. Don't want to wait too long. And you... yes, just have to wait for that one to purge. So, yeah. A little bit of development here and there. Oh, okay, we got first contact. That's what that was. So we're going to put a dude in that one. That first contact is a little bit further. That makes me think it might actually be an intelligent species. And we have science ship scanning. So let's actually advance until resistance is met, in the sense of actual, baddies. I want to see how far the baddies are, especially since we're already building out till here. Oh, construction ship. You're over here. You're already chaining till there. Good. I didn't chain to build it. By the way, over here, little pro move. If this is being constructed and you do a chain, you construct this one and you chain it to build that one, it will cost double. If you chain it to build this one, it will not, because this one is already 1 away, but this is currently 2 away. If you wait until this one is built and then you put the order to build this one, it will not cost double influence. Okay. Ooh, hello, first contact made. We sense prey. So when you make first contact, and I think Math is gonna like this one. It looks like it's an avian. Oh, you like avian the most, I find. Oh, they're delicious. Because you get to have the Kentucky Fried Space Chicken. Okay, so there is a difference between these ones. Now, you might have other options, different options, and better options. I don't have any green options because I'm a Devouring Swarm. But we've got here the yellow, which is the Ravenous Hive will be watching you. And that basically gives us a 33%... to distance ourselves, so they get 33% spy network growth on. They get their spy network. It doesn't work very well. However, if we do this one, we get a 33% spy network growth on them. Not just that they don't get to have spy network on us, and their opinion changes. It's just, we shall prepare for hostilities. We sense prey. I almost always go for this, unless it's an ancient. If it's an ancient, do the nice thing. I'll let you know how to recognize an ancient when we come across one. We sense prey. Okay, so you do need to let a day pass. Well, I probably should have actually. Oh no, we did put a. No, we didn't. I've got to put some espionage on that dude. Once you meet him, espionage him. You want to get a spy on there. Espionage. That's in the espionage tab. In the contacts, you go to espionage, boom. You just put an espionage. You cannot start doing any of these until you have at least 10 intel on them. So you have to get started with that. Prosperity, get the first one, please. Thank you. And since that one is done, thank you. That means we can put mining districts in here. They're actually a better price. Oh, actually, before I do that, let a day pass. Sometimes effects of things don't actually come in unless you let a day pass. I'm going to put 2 mining districts in. Reason I'm putting 2 in, one is going to be for primary industry, so you can actually have it doing stuff. And then the second one is going to be for filler. I'm also going to take out the synapse drones. As you can see, synapse drones take up a whole bunch of minerals and energy, and they produce unity, but we don't really need the unity that... Oh, I mean, we do, but if by taking them out, they're going to be able to... This also produces a little bit of unity, and it produces some amenities, but it also doesn't drain your primary resources. Actually, let's leave it in there for now. We're not hurting too much for primary resources, but we'll take it out when that thing actually can be controlled. Because you can see here, as we're constructing it, I can't actually control what those are going to do later on. The blood forest hunkers. Oh, I can't wait until I get to actually do that kind of stuff. That's going to be the wilderness one, and that's not open out for console yet. This is on console, of course. You can see what they use UI on this one. Okay, we got 3 here on physics. We can either choose a blue laser, energy grid, or improved deflectors. I think I'm going to go with the blue lasers. That actually, you can't see it right now because it's not a choice, so I'm going to open up the choices like this. It leads to other technologies. So this is actually something that not only fulfills some good offense, it's also really good for opening up more offensive maneuvers later on. So we're going to choose that one. Okay. Yes, and effectively we have to wait until these ones are built before we control what's in it, and then that's when we're going to be messing around with all that, what the jobs and what they're doing. If you get a good system for establishing them early on, then it gets them much faster to be able to do it, especially if you have a lot of planets. Okay, we're coming out here to this system, seeing whether or not what we can see. Oh wow. Okay, we have baddies. That is exactly where they are. Now, here, okay, so I'm looking at this kind of surrounding. Usually against baddies, the best way to box them in is actually if you have one border and they have two. We're not doing that anywhere over here. Like, for example, if I had this, they could have two systems next to it. That's really nice because that just means that they have two ports of entry, but we only have one. Anything like that that would be a pain in the ass for your enemy, do it. But on this one, anything that we build along this way is just going to be one-on-one with this enemy. We'd have to have this system to get a 3-on-1. So since that's the case, it's not really much of a point pushing all the way up here. I think this would serve as a fine bastion right there. We'll just have to get over the fact that there's some planets in there. Okay. This science ship now. I think what we're going to do with this science ship, just because we don't have any other chance to do this, is I'm going to take off the survey system and I'm just going to tell it to explore. The reason I'm going to do that is I want it just going out into the nethers of nothingness. We can get through that stuff now, but we can't do that later once this guy is actually discovered for true. Because they'll block us out. They'll tell us, you know, don't be in our empire, which is exactly what this douchebag did, which is fair enough. Now we can put some defensive platforms in there. Not really any point until this actually starts finishes building. And we are still, you know, constructing stuff all over here. So, science ship! Oh yeah, still doing this stuff.
Construction.
Excellent. Hopefully our timing is all right. We're going to come over here, land armies over there. That's going to be invading the atomic age and preventing them from becoming another empire. Whoo! They could still do it. Shimmer, and that also means that the construction ship is available. I would like... This is a second construction ship. We're going to have him come out here and build this starbase. That's A, going to get the place with the planet, and B, going to get those moats right there. Yum, 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 yum. The other place, which just got a planet, of course, we're going to colonize that planet, which is our energy world. Yum. Great timing. And then that one's going to build that starbase with a chain to move here. And there we have it. It's going to be in position over here. I don't want to build this one because even I am going to save the influence on that. I'm not going to, you know, I can deal with that one. I'm not going to waste influence that bad. Unless I have a ridiculous amount of influence and it's only like a little bit, then I sometimes do. This one here, good. We're landing on the planet.
The conquest of
a new planet. And first contact. Ooh, first contact where? We don't have enough dudes to be able to investigate this one as well. But we just got first contact on some douchebag. They do not like us over here. It's a 4.3, ouch. Whenever that happens, by the way, that is going to take off all of the orders that you gave. So this is now going to be on evading hostiles. I'm just going to tell it to go back onto explore. And, yeah, you do have to do that. Because evading, you'll just go back to the middle and do nothing. Our empire grows. Excellent. This planet... Oh, okay. Again, I'm going to take out those agriculture districts because I don't eat food. But you might want to keep it if you do. This one, early space age. I'm going to turn this one into a generator world because I can see already it's going to do better. Actually, you know what? Mining might be a bit better on this one. This one, as you can see, is dreadful for districts. It doesn't have very many. That's immediately telling me that this is going to be very good for research, because research or for bureaucracy or for, you know, unity, because those are two secondary industries that require a lot of buildings to be able to do. So we're going to be able to favor those. So I think we're going to leave that because it's already constructed. I'm going to leave it as generator roll for now. It's got a purge anyway. And then transport fleets, I think... Oh, we do have a primitive over here we need to invade, don't we? Yeah, so we'll go enter orbit. This one's still at 5. This one, by the way, is not strong enough for genuine military encounters. This is only strong enough for the primitives that we have around here. When you want to actually fight it on planets, I would recommend having no fewer than 30 armies. They have a force of about 1,000 on console once you hit about 27 of them, I think. But again, more is better, and so you can try to do that. Once that one's available, and yeah, so now once this one's purged, it will become available for colonization. Now you could really heavily min-max it by just building up your stuff already and just like having them ready to colonize, but I don't feel like it.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, science, good. Always pause on that one because you don't want to waste any time on that one. Bioreactors, good if you want energy. I want food. I don't want food. This is okay if you want to advance your edicts. Oh, right, edicts. We should maybe talk about those. 3 blockers. Okay, I'm going to do edicts over blockers so that we can talk. Give me an excuse to talk about edicts. Edicts. Edicts can be found in your traditions over here under edicts. You get. I have 20 for free at the moment, but I'm not really using them because the cheapest one I have is 25, and I don't want to waste my freaking Unity on this. These are things that you can get that are bonuses. They cost you some up front, and then you have an upkeep. And you, because we have edicts found 0 to 20, those are monthly edicts that you can. These are things that you can use in order to get things for free, essentially. So, fortify the border, starbase upgrade speed plus 50%, and starbase capacity. Not bad if you really want that. I don't know that we need that so much right now. Fleet supremacy, though, ship starting experience and ship build speed. And those are really can be helpful for a war. So this would be helpful to get once we finish with adaptive bureaucracy, because that will actually allow us to get it for free. So, you know, edicts. And as you go forward, you'll get more complex edicts. One of the best edicts I find is the one that really helps you with generator capacities. Okay.
Anomaly found.
Anomalies coming in a lot. I'm just canceling all of them. Sorry about that. If you're, playing a different playstyle, that might be different. But I'm noticing immediately this energy is coming in negative, and that's going to come in. You're going to notice at any time that it's going to come in red. So what I'm going to do over here is that's probably because in the capital we're still favoring the mines over here, and I'm actually not so sure we need to be doing that anymore. That was really important early game, and that might be important later on. But at the moment, we're going to deprioritize. I'm going to call it deprioritizing, or just, unfavoriting. And what I'm going to also do is we need 24. Now you can see here we have plus 35. So if I do that, okay, 43. We need 24. So you're just doing a little bit of math, or maths, depending on where you're from. And plus 52. I don't want to take too many out. Am I really going to push it 3, or I'm not? I'm going to let it just do 2. Okay. And at the beginning especially, you're going to have to micromanage your planets. What you will tend to find is that there's always going to be a certain amount of your planets that you have to actively micromanage, but the number of planets that you have to actively micromanage is going to reduce, because you're going to end up having control of your planets well enough eventually that they will just kind of coast after a while and just be fine, so you don't really have to worry about it. I would not use the automated settings. They fucking suck. And you're just going to notice your empire not working very well. Okay, we now have that system over here. Construction ship. See how I told it before to chain to move? Now it's actually en route. It's moving. Oh, it actually got to a hyperlane, so I'm going to let it continue moving. Now I'm going to give it an order. I don't want us to stop that because it actually does take a little bit of time to be in the hyperlane. Slight, benefits. And then where's that transport fleet? The army. Our armies are still moving. I only told them to move because we couldn't actually land. We're now going to give landing orders. These ones, I'm not even looking at the actual number, but this one, 0. They don't have a defense. So yeah, they're going to fall to our 1683. I know you can't see that right now, but it's 183. You can just believe me. This dude. There you go, 183. And that will beat that. And they'll beat almost anything that's like 50 or below, or even up to 90 or so. We will make it larger before we build up too much stuff. Okay, this one checking out a whole bunch of places out there. But with this one coming to construct this one over here, we're going to be able to build that into a bastion that will, I think with the distance that we have here, we're going to probably not build this one up as rapidly as this one, especially since this one is going to be really protecting us against the immediacy of that one. We still have gun batteries coming in here. I'm going to come into there and just build a couple of defensive platforms. It's quite expensive, but there's not really any other major expenses we're going to come up to right now. And how long are we going? Yeah, that's another hour. All right, I think there's still a good amount to be able to do, especially for the potential for how we enter into wars and how to defend against wars properly, and how we can kind of work on the defense along the way. So I think that's what we're going to feature for the next hour or so. But before that, I'm going to take another break. A good time to stretch, go to the washroom, get some water, and eat some cheese if you want some. So yeah, I've been Captain Jesscard of Starship Acanthus, and I'll see you in 5. Welcome back from the break. This is Captain Jess Card of Starship Acanthus. Alright, or if you're just joining now, welcome aboard. We are doing a little bit of a very beginning intro, Stellaris, and trying to basically just explain how I go through. And probably, you know, this will be the last part of this little intro for today at least. I will probably try to put together these sections and put them on YouTube for anyone who wants to be able to rewatch it easily. I'll try to get that done by tomorrow, and I'll try, you know. And then yeah. But for now, I think what we're going to try to do is see what kind of, if we can push up to the point of an actual war, potentially defending ourselves, because there's this dude over here, and he's actually has to be defended against. So right now we're building in 2 defensive platforms in there. And this one is also constructing this one. We're going to have to build this one up, and that is going to cost 200 alloy. So a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing now is, science comes in, boom, we have to make a choice. Ooh, okay, we got blockers, colonial centralization, or naval capacity. Now, blockers are pretty good, but this one is actually going to be able to get us a hive nexus. And not only does that give us our official capacity, commander capacity, and scientist capacity, the amount of them we can have increase, which can be useful depending on what you're doing. The hive nexus is the one that I find the most useful here, because it is it just upgrades your your capital to being able to do more stuff. So this one is, however, something that can almost always have to come up at the early game at some point. So if you can sometimes get other things, and be rest assured that it will probably come up pretty soon again. Probably. Okay, this one, building this one up, almost ready. Ooh, new planetary base. Okay, new planetary base means expensive. For my species, spawning. We already have 1 mining in there, but I'm going to do another one because I like to start with 2. I'm just really glad I don't have to build that one. I'm going to favor the mines here because I really want to get more mining up. We need to get great development of our society. And now we can take these out, not just because we don't want to spend the resources of energy and mining, but also because we really want to make it. And as soon as this planet... Oh, it has its first mine as well. So we're going to put spawning pools on, spawning drones on favorite. And the main reason for that is because sometimes, as you saw before, it was at 0. And we're going to take out the synap drones. We don't need those. The reason we're going to take out the synap drones here is that if I do this, look at that. Even though I favorite the mining drone, it still goes into synapse drones. The synapse drones override the friggin' mining. Well, I don't like that, so I just manually take them out. And now you can't override the mining anymore. And now I get mines, minerals. And yeah, so what if they're not as happy? I've got a hive mind. You know, you gotta kind of combo everything up properly. Okay, they're gonna get another mining district. Very good. And other science, yes. Okay, so planetary build speed versus... Okay, Corvette build cost is going to become obsolete very soon, as we're not building Corvettes anymore. Although it'll be useful until that time. But we're not really doing that right now. We're doing defenses. Coil gun. That's good. Oh, but planetary... We have a lot of planets we're going to be building very soon. Yeah, let's do planetary build speed. And sometimes it's a tough choice. You know, don't beat yourself up if you make a choice and you later regret it. You want to change your mind. You can always change your mind. You are the commander and captain of your own galaxy. I mean, you might lose, but you will lose as the commander of your own galaxy. Okay, we're upgrade here, and win. Okay, construction ship. This one. So this one was coming back down here. I suppose now we don't really have any more reason for it to go anywhere special. I suppose we could just bring it over here for now. Doesn't really matter. We're not pushing anywhere else because there's not much of a reason to invest in any of that. I mean, there's a few planets over there. But yeah, that would especially since this station is having to defend on 2 fronts. It's just not resource worth it. Plus, it's going to be a drain on resources just trying to collect all this, because planets when they're coming in are actually quite expensive to. They have upkeep. You know, planet deficit coming in. You can see that right there. it takes a little bit of time in their development before they're actually producing something that's really nice. So, and oh man, energy's going down. Okay. I think that's probably because we were focusing on getting energy in our capital. What we might want to do then is favorite the energy. Ah, there we go. That helped. Now we can put the mining ones back in. Okay, that's a better way of organizing that. Presapient. Species found. Excellent. Cool. At some point, we may have to deal with that. A presapient species is something that is going to be on the planet that is colonizable, and you might be able to uplift them. If I uplift them, I murder them because I'm a devouring swarm. So it just doesn't have much of an effect except that. And I have done that because that's how I discovered how that happens. I was like, hey, what happens if I uplift this as a devouring swarm? Oh, that's what happens. Oh, okay. I might do that again. Empire grows! Excellent.
Warriors are victorious.
And this is the Stone Age one. Oh, gonna turn into... Now, so see this one, multidisciplinary. We've got 21 districts. Lots of mining. I don't need the food for my species. But you could use the food if you wanted to. It does have 2 different types of hives and city. That's because that'll fix itself, don't worry. That's just because different types for different types of species. And then generate, it could be used for generator, as you wish. I'm probably going to favor more minings on it, but I might end up making generators in there. Who knows? It also depends on what these planets are going to bring. Ooh, speak of the devils. You two survey here and chain to survey here. Because why not grab the rest of our planets in our region? Ooh. Another planet can be colonized. I just noticed over here. So I go into my colonizer. I don't need to go specifically to the planet. It's the same one. Same way of doing it. Sometimes one of the ways is faster than the other. And that one is also... that one's going to be better for mining. But you can see that there's a bunch of blockers on the mines. So it's mining, but it's going to cost us. Because they're slightly... There's like one that's... So one's already built. One is empty. That can be built. And 4 have blockers on mining districts there. Okay. Nah. So this place has 2 planets on it. One very good at mining, and one very good at both generator and mining. I'm kind of basically ignoring the agriculture, But there are definitely some planets that are going to be good at generator. We're going to need them. Okay. They have straight for the hive mind. Again, little stuff that I'm not really concerned about as my species. So if it's concerning, I'll let you know. A lot of those things are just planets that are primitives that are, not restabilizing or destabilizing. Okay, so we did grab this system. That allows us to get another planet over here. Yum. Again, not taking away from our military abilities because it's calamitous birth. Another advantage there. Boom. And you, construction ship, go home. I mean, we have 1 construction ship to be able to do all these 3, and I think it could handle it. In fact, this one, you can do that now. I don't even care about the see why I don't care about the influence is because for a war here, normally in any kind of game, you need to go to claims, and this is where you would go to a system and you try to claim things. See the cost 125 influence. They're here, this one, 100 influence to make a claim. Pfft, I'm not gonna make a claim. I just kill them. Because, I'm a species that is allowed to do that. And that transitions into warfare. But, I mean, we can't actually do it yet. What I can do, well, I can declare war, but I'm not going to yet, is, did I not get a first contact on that one? No, I did not. Ooh, first contact. I only have 1 doing first contact. So we have 2 things. One of them's doing first contact. One of them's not. And that's because one of them's doing a spy network. We're just limited. It's the way it is. Okay. We are... spies. Yes, spying on that one. Okay, we'll do that one. That was just, gather information. It's the only thing we can do. You just commence when ready. Yeah, because I want it to always to be commencing. Hegemonic imperialists. Defending themselves there. Next planet coming in is going to be mining. Is it going to be energy after that? Council yes. Good. Council agenda. Launch it. You got to launch it. You know, and then... Oh, no, I have one other choice. Sometimes the game's not that hard. Yes. Okay, so we needed... Construction ship over there is going to be building that one. We're going to be flowing up there to get these. After that, it'll be anomalies, and then we'll get survey the systems, because we're going to be locked in. Is this thing... Wait, did it... I did build an upgrade, though, over there. And how is this thing doing for defense level? Both built. So we have 2 over here. 0 over here. We still have to build up the basic stuff over there. Prosperity. Yes. Now here, complex... we could go down, but the down... This is going to be building... hive districts. Alright, I didn't show you the war thing, sorry. I'll get to that. Hive districts over here. They provide 1 additional housing. The difficulty is I don't have very many of them. I haven't been able to construct any of them in our colonies because we just don't have enough resources for that. So I'm actually going to do it the other way around. We're just going to do building upkeep and build district upkeep just because it has immediate effects. Okay, war. If we go into this one now, we can see that the relative power, they're overwhelming. Of course they are. We haven't built anything. And overwhelming, though, it means that the military fleets are at least 150% your size. And since 150%, well, 150% larger than you. And since 3 is our current size, that means they're at least 5 at least, which isn't that much. So if they're superior, it means they're at least 50% larger than you. So you can use those numbers to kind of approximate how many their fleet naval capacity is. But since we haven't started with navals yet, doesn't really matter. This empire, as you can see, avian. We've got a hegemonic imperialists. They're suspicious of us. No shit. And details. Fanatic materialists. They're militarists. Militarists and materialists. Those are 2 very similar words. Imperial ruler, eye for talent. Yeah, so close borders with us. Yeah, no problem. But over here, what we can do is we can just take a look and declare war. Well, I'm not actually going to do it right now, but this is the war we would do. It is absorption, hunger. And this is what we call a casus belli. A casus belli is the war goal or the thing that you use in order to be able to declare war. Many wars require claims. Sometimes there are things to be able to capture claims and stuff like that. Mine is war is waged to utterly consume the enemy. So, yeah, you'll use your war claims, your casus belli in order to declare wars. You can also have multiple casus bellis, and there's all sorts of different kinds of ways that you can even have force wars with other people by using a casus belli that forces another person to use a certain casus belli on someone else. Because you can absolutely do force war. You know, you can manipulate the game in however you want. This is a simulator. It simulates whatever you want it to simulate. So whatever kind of story you want to build in the galaxy, you can basically build it and actually play it out and see what goes down and die a lot and then maybe win. Okay, so we have first contact going forward. We can't really nab any of them, so we don't really have many options right there just because we don't have the dudes to nab them right now. That's no problem. And it's mostly going to be what? Planets are going to be developing, coming in. We have to pretty much try to give them some soft landings. You know, I'm just going to favor them some spawning drones in here. Now, that's not necessary to do, but it does kind of let me see that, hey, we got this system covered. We know what we're doing. If it's not favor, then we know that, you know, if it's not, then we know we may not have had a chance to actually favor it, and that means that might be very new, because that is true of all the new planets. Okay. A nice little tail over here almost, so we're just going to have to deal with this empire over here. This is also kind of a little bit of bait. Yeah, I think he's going to go and maybe build up over there. But okay, that size sort of doesn't really matter for the overall mechanism of the game, and I'm trying to just push at least to the point where we might be able to get a war. Blue Lotus facility. Ooh, love it.
Situation log updated.
Excellent. That's... Ooh. See, this is a timed one. This one has a timeout of 1,080 days. So if you don't do it in the next 1,080 days, you don't get to have it. But it also costs 112 months for research. And what that tells me is that I haven't been neglecting my research. No, I haven't. It's only the year 2211. Damn it. I think I'm going to have to let that one go. I usually like getting all these kind of anomalies and stuff, and it would be a fun story to do, but yeah, you don't have to do everything every single playthrough, you know, especially since a lot of the time you're going to have to do different playthroughs so that you can try different selections between different, you know, every single time you have a storyline, you'll have different options, and you might want to try a different type of option next time if you want to see all the different potentials for every different story. And if you consider how many stories there are, it's a lot of playthroughs. I think I'm going to let this one go. And we're going to put another hive district in here. That's going to open up the ability to also put more synapse and research. Those are just, again, unity and research. Thing that brings unity, things that brings research. Very helpful again. Got a lot of mining over here. I do hope that we have, we have that energy coming in, but it's going to be still a little while coming. Is it worthwhile to build another generator in here? Not with this one coming in so hot, I think. This one's coming in so hot, I need to actually get some synapse in there. I'm just looking at the number of minerals we have, and it's... I'd like it to go up faster. It is bad. Plus 15 is bad. Jesus. Okay, mining, and I can fit 2? Okay, good. Get those synapses out, please. That's a drain on resources. We can't afford it. Okay. Oh, science ship. Not doing anything over here. That's because it went into an enemy place, and now it lost all of its orders. So we're just going to tell it again to go on and explore. Explore around, because that's what you can do. We do, and we also have to watch the alloys, because we need to get this thing defenses. This one can have 8, by the way. So we're just going to be building those defenses as we build up our empire, trying not to die. Starbase capacity. Well, do we need more star bases? Not right now. Blockers, there's one blocker that would be useful for, so take your pick. This is also cheaper. I'm going to go for that one right now. Over here, basic combat roles, survey speed, or colony development speed. I'm going to say that almost always it's going to be survey speed that you want here. So I'm going to pick specialized combat computers, because when I say almost always, I mean not if you're a devouring swarm, because my species type is boxed in. What the fuck am I going to survey? What's in here? Sure. But, I mean, the amount of time it's going to take me to fight those wars, I'll survey that in time. And then you'll see. I'm not going to do survey speed. And then my survey ships are eventually going to have fucking nothing to do. So they're clearly going to run out. So I don't need it. I just know that from my experience with this one. But survey speed, if you're doing almost anything else, come on, survey speed going faster is almost definitely going to be a good one. Okay, this one's almost built. Ugh. We are holding this one up, and that's the thing is, what I'm really trying to make sure we do here is when we're holding this one up, this has to be at full, because these ones being Grand Admiral have such strength right at the beginning, and they hate us so early. Look at that, look at that, look, whoa, 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 we have enemies coming in 2,600 and 1,100. Woo-hoo-hoo! Spicy. And they're coming in right where our defense is at 2.4. So we've got to build more. Are they going to force us to do some market stuff? I think so. I'm going to buy some alloys with our money. Oh, don't do that. Don't do it too frequently, because now you'll see when you buy stuff, you have to let it cool down before you get a good price again. The prices get worse every time you buy stuff, so you want to make use of... Oh, shit. Yeah, right there. Empire of Birgas are preparing to declare war on us. Yep, they are. Defensive platform. Defensive platform. We're going to try to hold out. It's not easy. Devouring Swarm, man. And it would have been easier if I didn't have to build this up, obviously. Because, you know, which I kind of did have to do, which is why if you have only a one defensive platform system, then it would be a lot easier to build that up, and you might actually be able to hold it. So, you know, sometimes the margins can be really, really difficult when you're playing on Grand Admiral, but it's that kind of aspect of just trying to push every single resource so that you can take on whatever they come at you. Because right now we've got what, nearly 4,000 being able to come at us. They're planning a war. Question is when they decide to fight it and how strong we are. Right now we've got a defense of 2.4. Let's get that up. Observation post. That's another primitive over here. Early space age. Issue. There's always problems. Okay, we're going to send our construction ship over to that system so that we can grab that one. And transport fleets who are over there, because we kind of forgot about them, they are immediately going to enter orbit over here. We got to invade that thing before any kind of bad stuff happens. And all the while, I notice we have a whole bunch of planets that need to be colonized, and we don't have any resources to do it. So, can I buy some? It's expensive. Oh, but we got any planets coming in hot? Are we good? Is that a transmitter drone? Oh, it's a special thing. I really want to do it. Look at those. 1 mineral for 5 alloys. It's just so worth it. I can't resist. I know. I have a really, really, really dysfunctional economy. Shh, don't. When this thing comes in, it'll be okay. Everything will be. We'll ride it out. Don't worry. We'll ride it out. Oh shit. Okay, no. Plus 66. We're at 4 what? 4 point. We can wait till it's at 5,000 and sell off a bunch. Yeah, come on. Hold the fucking line, though. What do we have? 2.7? We can do upgrade of 2 other ones for some other... we're going to do that too. I need to have every little bit of strength we have on that defense. Prosperity moves forward. We still don't have enough minerals to avoid hives in our colonies. So instead, we'll go for one of these 2. It doesn't really matter. They're both pretty damn good. Okay, keep going.
System survey complete.
Nice. With that one, construction ship, you are at 101 alloys. We can afford this one. And then we're going to chain that one just to move up here to be ready. But that's going to be an invasion on that planet possible. And the construction, and of course our armies are on their way. It's just going to take a little while.
Our ships have been made superior.
Oh, good. We're at 3.1 defense with nothing coming in. Shit. Don't you dare. I really want to also... This is the other thing. I want to colonize stuff. Can't colonize stuff if we don't have the resources. Okay, let's sell off some of that stuff and let's buy some of these. Anything we can do... Mining's going to be coming in there. We're going to be having a new generator world coming in pretty soon.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
And blockers, monthly influence and available envoys or uplift. Uplift is kind of useless to us. Blockers, it depends on how many. But this one, available envoys could be really useful, even though the monthly influence is kind of whatever. For me. For you, it'd be good. This one, definitely, if it's you, probably. Unless you really need the blockers. No. Check your planet, necessarily. That's another thing, is sometimes you just have to check which planet it is. Oh, we have 5 blockers on that one, so we might want to do that one, actually. Yeah. Where are the blockers? Ooh, is it over here? Yeah, see right here, blockers. Boom. We could get. I'm not doing it right now, though. We don't have the moolah. Wait until we actually have a reasonable empire that's stable, not this unstable bullshit. Yeah, I'm worried about the synapse and the energy. Okay, get that synapse. These ones out because it's But we do have one coming in. That's a good sign. This would be easier on lower difficulties. They wouldn't have nearly as many dudes.
Anomaly found.
No, you can do that when you're done with. See, once we have all the systems and all the planets, potential, then we'll do that. Yeah, yeah. Almost done. And we can upgrade the capital. We really don't need to, but even having the capacity to do that is really useful. So just good thing unlocked.
Construction complete.
Nice. That transport fleet is now capable of landing. So we can land there. And we also can, you know, colonize some planets, but again, ooh, maybe. Boom, boom. That gives us a little bit more alloys. I mean, minerals. Mining station output. Plus 10% in a nebula refinery. Yes, please. Frigate, I don't care about. And mining purification plants, that can be nice sometimes, but I think this one's much better than that. 19 months. That will be a big improvement. Here we have first contact with some other douchebag. Cool. I don't really care that much. We're gonna have a lot of first contacts, a lot of douchebags out there. This is the one that really matters because they're coming at us. You know. These margins are really tight, actually. They're so tight, these margins. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to bring the Corvettes into this system just in case. I don't think they can do much, but actually, before I do that, let's take them back there. We should probably do the last really important thing, and that is do some ship designing. We don't have any destroyers yet, but before you actually use your stuff, you should probably design new ships in order so that they don't suck ass. So what you first have to do is you have to take off auto-generate designs. Ugh, no. We're going to go to Corvette. And in the Corvette, we didn't actually get any combat. This is where the computer would be. Very useful. Jump drives would be here later on, and there's some other stuff you can do. But mostly, I'm going to change this from a picket ship to an interceptor. The difference between a picket ship and an interceptor is the kind of guns you can put in it. This one, it can have these two because they're small. This one, it's usually smaller guns that you can put on this one. Interceptor is a little bit more bulky. That's fine. We're gonna put blue lasers in here. Blue lasers are good against armor and hull, but they are not the strongest thing that we have. Like you look, the cooldown is 4.25, and their average damage is 3.07. Whereas Mass Driver, the cooldown is 2.9, and their average damage is 2.7. So it's like, you know, less of cooldown. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the blue laser, but the Mass Drivers, they attack shields, but they don't do well against armor. So what we're going to do is we're going to put blue lasers in there and Mass Driver in these two. So we can kind of complement. They can complement each other's weaknesses while having some strength. Then we're going to put in some armor. We're going to put in 2 armor. Armor does not take much energy. And we're going to put deflectors and we're going to put afterburners. You can put in deflectors instead if you want to. It's your call. But I'm going to put in some armor at the moment. Especially if these... if we develop this to be something that takes more energy, then having 2 deflectors might overload the amount of power that we have. And you have the amount of power that you have has to be positive. So, for example, we're not allowed to do that because the power will be -2. So you have to keep power at least positive. And I'm gonna get that going. That's also why you want to upgrade your engines for your ships, because better engines will be able to handle better power. Okay, so now that that's built up with afterburners, we'll just do a quick upgrade on them. They'll have afterburners, and
initiating ground assault.
We've got to get another defensive platform in here. Come on. Hold, hold, hold.
Our ships have been made superior.
Ships have been made superior. Perfect. Get them into position. Again, I don't want to build them up quite right now, but even 2, 3, 4 might do something to help this situation. So I don't want to have not done it and be the thing that makes the difference. -4 is on energy is survivable right now, and given what we're trying to do in terms of invasions, I'll take it. Ugh, it's getting worse. -6. Fuck. We do have a bank of 2,000 though. Our empire grows. That's another primitive taken down. I'm taking out the food, and I'm going to leave all primary industries that I might want to build on those at some point. I don't know what I'm going to do over here, but we're going to put mining for default at the moment. That may be a reassessment later. Transport fleets, I don't know what's going on over here. We're just going to leave them until we get confirmation of whether or not we have any primitives coming up over here, because they're both, you know, well, one of them just turned green. Oh, and the other one is yellow. No primitives. Okay, transports, you can come over here to our planet. What we're going to do is take it to the capital. We're going to land our armies there, and we're actually going to probably have to build it up. Building up is going to be difficult because, again, that takes minerals, and minerals, as you can see, has been the thing that has been limiting all of our construction on our planets. So, you know, everything is connected to everything. Ooh, let's get that second district in there. I don't want that planet to be poor. Okay, they're now getting much stronger. And very much... Oh, but somehow, no longer planning a war. The war thing has disappeared. Could be that our defense has been just enough to dissuade them. They also seem to be expanding to the south. In that system down here. And that is a waste of their resources, so good. That means that they're not spending those resources on military. Okay, upkeep from jobs, minus 5%. Good. Next one we're going to do is obviously going to be prosperity, but then probably we're going to have to do something that's going to help us with our military. Because, you know, survival. Minus 20 on energy. That is bad. Okay, this one is almost in, so hopefully that will help somewhat. Okay, you. Okay, next science. We can choose between naval capacity, a blocker that has 3, or edicts. I think naval capacity is probably the best one there. Base level intel is pretty nice as well here. This also leads to other stuff. Ah, crap. The other thing is that opening up the next tradition tree is going to be able to get us some naval capacity, so I think I'm going to go for this one. The other one, I like it, but I can get it another way. And that's an important thing to keep in mind whenever you're doing something that where you have multiple costs.
Situation log updated.
Okay. Some special mission that has to be done. Cool. Have fun. Do it. Enjoy. Science ships. You are done over here. So now we have all the different planets that are available. Let's get all the anomalies. And special projects. And those ones will all happen on the ones that we actually have already built up, which is nice.
System survey complete.
Am I going to do it? Am I really going to push it? I'm going to. I'm going to build this one. Science ship. You are going to also special products anomalies. Now we're going to go really full hog on that one because we can. How bad is the force that's building up there? 4,700 and change. 4,800 to our 3.6. The dangers of ignorance are greater. I'm going to abduct some people. I know we're not even at war, but it does feel like it. Almost. Oh man, we have a lot of stuff to build up, and I haven't been able to do these because, you know, the development of the planet so far. Okay. Yeah, see these ones coming in hot. Okay, boom. You favor that one. Let's get that planet that is coming in hot right now. See, those are anomalies being done, and they get us more goodies in the systems as well. So I don't want to ruin all the stories for you. I'm just gonna go over the basic mechanics of how this is going to be going down. Ooh, do we want to do no upgrade on the capital yet? It's too expensive, and we don't get enough out of it. Yeah, this guy. Investigate. Boom. Have fun. And now planets. Until we have some, you know, galactic stability. Military base. Okay, so that is going to be here, our planet. Spawning. Lucky, we already have mining in there. So we're only going to build one. I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to do another 2, 3. This is a... Really? 2 at most. You don't have to do them all now. 1 at most now. You don't have to do them all now. Take these out. Favor the mines. That's a nice little benefit you can have because it's already been built. Okay. That one has mines. This one has energy. Hopefully that will actually be seen next month. Next month? No, not really. -8. Okay. How's that? We can get another defensive platform in here. How much are we up to now? We got 6, 7. 7 out of 8. Very good. Another story that I'll allow you to enjoy on your own time because you'll be able to, you know, there's a lot of reading for these ones. Okay, so that's another beautiful planet. Still working well. What's cool? Yes. So what I'm doing here essentially is with the military fleets is I've positioned them to be back here next to the exit so that we can move them around as we want. It does cost us a little bit to have them out here, but not that bad. And I put them on a passive stance, and the reason is because I don't want for any reason if these guys come in for them to just immediately start attacking them, which is what they would do on an aggressive stance. You just change this here to aggressive, and they'll just attack anything that comes into the station. I really want to control where they are and when they actually start the battle, because I really just want them to be support for this one. And that's where a lot of that kind of stance is going to take place, is how you want your fleets to move and how you want them to react in sublight during a war, depending on, you know, what their individual function is going to be. Okay, so now we got basic combat roles. We're going to put in either energy grid or improved deflectors, because I don't really like improved reactor booster. It's kind of meh. That just makes you have more power in your... I don't really usually find that I have a problem with that. Improved deflectors. I want to get better defense than just having... although, yeah. I do want to have energy efficiency. Damn. And I have been neglecting the energy so far. Be a bit more balancing. Okay, I'm going to go with that one then. And system, that's the last one. Now we still have 2 platforms that can be upgraded. So we'll build those ones up.
Breakthrough achieved.
District housing. Okay, so we can either do... Okay, so we have 3 pretty interesting things. This one is going to make our ships faster if we have them. Synthetic crystal plants will allow you to build, you know, these things that will allow you to create synthetic crystals. I don't actually need to do that right now. I don't think we need that. It would be useful to unlock that technology, the ability to do that as well. City district housing could be useful, but I think right now ion thrusters, we really do need to have stuff that's going to be good for military and be able to hold our own. We also have upgrades that are available because I'm pretty sure ship designer. Yeah, we're going to need to put in a new computer. Our computer gives us a few advantages, so let's put in a swarm. And that's going to... Yeah. No, that already exists. Oh, okay. I already did it, apparently. But yeah, you make sure that that one is on swarm. I thought it wasn't. Anyway. We're hanging out around here, just waiting. We got, what, defense 4.1?
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay. Oh, okay. Improves production. Does not matter what the other ones are. Do it. It's that important. The reason is because not only is this going to give your resources from jobs plus 10% and upkeep from jobs plus 10%, sure, but this is going to be a 10% increase to everything on your productivity, and the next one is 20%. It unlocks 20%, and then it unlocks a 30%, and then it unlocks a 40%. So, yeah, just do this one. Logarithmic expansion of your economy. So here's the classic little problem. If we're in position over here to kind of defend, we can't do upgrades. So, yeah. 4.7. He's got 5.1-ish. We can also hold on to a few alloys because the battle itself, if you were to fight us, would probably mean that we would be able to build another one during the battle. Oh, see, look at that. War preparations. Excuse me. And since he's doing war preparations... Oh, some side stories. Nice.
Situation log updated.
Oh, cool. There's some stuff happening over there. That can all be read, so...
We have established a new planetary base.
Okay, another planet. That's why I'm not spending my resources on other stuff. Generators coming in. Very good. We need those generators. Woo! That's going to be... in these planets, I'm also wanting to get hives eventually, but with the resources we have, it's just not possible. But you'll notice that the mining is now up to 30 plus 39. So, and we're only at -1 over here. I call that relatively stable. Over here, make sure the spawn... Yeah, all these things are holding out. Cheese Central, how you doing? 2 out of 6 with a 1. Yep, you're fine. 2 out of 6. So I'm basically just checking these ones. They just check how they're doing, how full they are. And if they're getting really full, add another district. But, you know, if you can. So I'm both saddened that they don't have more dudes in the districts, then we'd have more resources, but happy that they don't because then it doesn't cost us more. It's a weird kind of feeling to be looking at a resource like that, but that's the way it is. That's the kind of trade-off. Yes, there are penalties for the size of your empire when you build a whole bunch of planets, but the penalties are worth the cost, what you get out of the planets, so just pay it. Enjoy life. Okay. Espionage. Do we still need to have espionage on these assholes? Or can we... We have a lot of first contacts. We're just doing one of them at the moment. I don't think it's that important. We already have visuals on the whole fucking empire. And what are we going to do? Make them... The only things that we can potentially do with them are, like, prepare sleeper cells, acquire assets. We can't even steal technology, and that's a potential later on, but I think in the... Compared to actually doing the first contacts, let's move those about. Deprioritize the importance of our enemy. Okay, prosperity. Complete. This allows us to now get an ascension perk. We're going to get a second ascension perk, and I think on this one, I'm going to go for Imperial Prerogative. This really does help our empire size be reduced by 50%, so a lot of the penalties that we get for stuff is going to be gone, so especially for having a whole bunch of colonies here. We put that in place. I wouldn't be surprised if all of our energy even goes positive. Just, oh no, almost. -0. It's negative because it actually is slightly negative. It's just not represented because it is rounded to the nearest integer. Okay. They're still building up their fleets. And we can't actually build any more on this one because we can upgrade them for 42. But we cannot build any more because we're at the maximum, which is 8, until you can actually... Are we? Yeah. Missing platforms. Yeah, we need, there's only 8 maximum until it's a level 2, then you can put in more. I think it's, yeah. You can put a lot more. Or 4 more, something like that.
Our ships have been made superior.
Good, so that upgrade has happened. This one is now at 5.9. Still not super strong, but at their 2.6 and 3.2, I think it's now time to probably get our fleets going. I won't be able to get destroyers first. It would have been nice to get destroyers first. We're going to fill this in with some corvettes so that we can get reinforcements. And I think it might also be wise to convert this solar thing into a shipyard. So just so we have a bit more shipyard in there. Do we want this thing upgraded at all? We'd have to move all the way back to get it upgraded. So, nah. Now, these things will just come. If we go like this, reinforce, they'll just be built, and then they'll automatically come into this fleet, into this position. They won't come in immediately. They take a little bit of time to do that, but that's one way to do it. If you want to hold in position and you want to get continuously stronger, you'll see the marker. As soon as they get built, there'll be a notification at the bottom of the screen. I'll show you that and what you do. Food. sell off some food, but main issue now is I really want to build some more planets. This one would be probably a good energy world. Oh, energy is actually starting to go positive, so I don't really know if I care so much about that. Positive, yeah, we're coming in here. Okay, this one's really good for mining. Let's do that one next. And can I afford more? Not really. I mean, we can, but not without putting us in an economically position, which I don't want to do. Too much of an economic. Yeah, and these ones are being built up automatically, of course. Void Hive, very nice to have. All right. How's their desire to attack us? They 2.6 and 3.6. Eesh. And okay, here's the symbol. This is what happens when you have fleets coming in. So that we have 2 corvettes that will be coming in from the Ammon system. And Ammon system, by the way, is our capital. Because we are lithoids and our planet is called Dai. Dai. Okay, you got it. Okay. They'll come in at these dates. These are the dates when those these corvettes will get into the system. And then they still have to travel to you, and you can't control where they get land in that system. So that it can sometimes be dangerous. Check something. Yeah, our planet looks pretty normal at the moment. Good. I know that I was playing another one where our planet looked a bit different. I was trying to figure out what it was. But, I don't know. Alright. Shimmering is waiting, and I'm just trying to get some more reinforcements on this one, especially since we don't have... What's going on with the ion thrusters? Okay, 7 months on ion thrusters, and we really need some better technology in here, either destroyers or Starhold technology. Starhold technology allows you to upgrade this to the next level, which would be helpful, because I would also build defense platforms. Because we can just... It's maxed out. The only other thing we can do to upgrade this thing is if we actually have upgrades in here that can be... come in, and that might happen. But other than that, the other thing we probably need to consider is building up our transport fleets a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to do that when you don't have enough minerals to do all the other stuff. So priorities. Okay, reinforce. It's bomb, destroy it. Okay. Now, as we go through the... Yeah. Feels like a war, even though it isn't, because they're just right there waiting to declare. I'm kind of divided between the prospect of building up the fleet and actually building up a bank of mineral alloys, which would allow us to then build up defensive platforms in a war if they take them down. If you have a little bit of a bank, you can kind of do that move. If they take down a few, you can build them up at the same time. Which can be really nice defensively. Okay, next tradition, I think with this one, we put it off far too long. We've got to go supremacy so we can actually build up our military really strong. You'll notice that now our fleet capacity, we're up to 86. We have, we're going to be able to do more. And that's going to help us with a lot of stuff. Our dudes, I think, habitability is most important over here. Starbase capacity, we're not even at the limit. We don't even need it anymore right now. Habitability, that could always help with any planet. If it's, at 70%, going up to 75%, it just makes it more habitable and means that the constraints are fewer. Okay, now we got destroyers. Thank you. 24 months. So we're going to keep building our corvettes right now. But now the big thing is Empire of these ones. Empire of whatever they're called. Doesn't really matter. Burgas. These hegemonic imperialists. They have a fleet power that is overwhelming compared to us. What we're going to be looking for is when that becomes superior. And the reason is because at overwhelming, they're 150% stronger, but at superior, they're only 50% stronger. And when they become superior, that means, they're within the realm of actually becoming equivalent. And then once they're equivalent, superior equivalent, we could probably murder them somehow. If you do it intelligently enough, you could probably pull it off. They're not fair. They have raw power, but again, all of the enemy stuff is all... Oh, fuck! Alright, let's see if we can do it. Wartime. This is wartime. Oh, boy. They decided. So we'll see if we can actually hold it on. This is the true test. So we have 5.9 with a 404 over there. Kind of defending a little bit. Several coming in. Are they coming directly at us? They are. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. They are splitting fleets. Look at that. Hold on. Science. Okay, so science right in the middle here. We've got survey speed. I already said that that's kind of useless. Ooh, cold, these are both really nice. Okay, so what cold fusion power is going to do is, again, that's going to be if your engines, for your ships. FCL inhibitors is actually going to be really helpful for your system so that you can actually create an offensive aura that makes it so that your enemies can't jump out. This is actually one of the best ways to kill your enemy at the beginning. So, weirdly enough, I think I might go for that one. Really? I want this so much more. Do it then. Do it. Just do it. I want that more. Too bad. See, they're splitting. Why are you splitting your fleets? I can defeat one. I can't defeat both. Never underestimate the stupidity of your enemies. So, yeah, first contact progresses. But over here, we've got a fleet of 5.9, which actually isn't that strong. I'm really surprised by how weak it is. Usually I can get it above 6 at the beginning, but that is not the case today. And I was really not confident in my 404 defense, but then he went and decided to be a fucking idiot. Maybe he's going to go around here to try to fight this thing? Which, I mean, fair enough if you're trying to do that, because that's not good either. Ooh, shit, we haven't been able to build anything over there. That's probably what he's going to do. Shit, fuck, shit, fuck. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to get there. Is it worthwhile defending? 7 something. It would look bad not to try. Okay, we'll put in the 1. We don't have enough alloys to do much more than that. Okay, they're going to come in. And we're going to try to hold them off. So this will be first battle. Again, we are on defense up there. I'm not bringing them in yet. Oh, first contact. That paused everything. Don't worry. First contact with something. Do we want to... No, we can't really progress it. And do we want to take a look at where it is? There's a first contact way the fuck over here because this dude is just doing it. You know, that's just what happens. Okay. I'm back on this dude. Will he... He's got 3.5 against my 5.9. I still haven't brought the Corvettes in there. Do we want to bring the Corvettes in there at all? They're just so weak. 3.5 because we're just gonna get picked off so easily. But then again, they might also get some experience with it. Let's go. Let's attack. They're defended a little bit. If they can get a little bit of experience in there, that would be nice. Yeah, but oh, not quite. Okay, 1. So we lost 1 defensive platform. They lost 1 Corvette. That's not a very good trade, but. There we have it. Okay, and Shimmering never got into that battle. Darn. But they did back the fuck off the instant Shimmering got close enough. Let's go for Shimmering. You can just go in orbit of that planet for now. That's... No. I don't like the angle there. Go around that one. I think no, that's my planet. Never mind. Yeah, you can go to that planet. We're good. Okay. We lost 1. We do need to replace it. 211. But that is properly defended. The difficulty now is he might come through here, and that would, you know, kill us. That's what he's gonna do, isn't it? Eesh. While we're also trying to get more planets being built. Okay, let's get this one. Do we have any planets coming in hot? Oh, we didn't categorize that one, so let's do that. Boom, and not really, so let's see how many we can get. Oop. Just gonna get as many as I can right now. Very good, a wave, and we're just missing 1. That's really nice. I mean, if we survive this, we very well might not survive this one, and that's the danger of Ooh, hold on. We might be able to survive it, though. These take 180 days, but the defensive platforms don't. Do we want to reverse which order we put those in? Hugely risky. We also wouldn't be able to do the reinforcement on there immediately. Can we buy a few more? Nah, that's also really not very efficient. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with the gun batteries for now. Until I get a visual otherwise. Okay, first contact progresses.
We are tracking an enemy.
Yeah. It was going to be too late anyway. 2600. Yep. Okay. So they're going to get through there. And once they get through there, yeah, that position's just compromised. That they could come through here. Very difficult to kind of defend that. So you can see exactly why the debate over whether or not to just do one central defense and then just hold out there versus come and do this one. It might have been better the other way around. But then again, you know, that would also have left off a whole bunch of plays. So it's not always clear. And you're also going to get completely different kind of military situations based off of the, you know, what the map looks like and whatnot. So, yeah. That right there. I mean, it's still doable. There's still lots of stuff that we can do in this war that could be fightable. Absolutely still doable. Not easy, but doable. Probably. It would take some doing. It's not in a very good position anymore. It's... Yeah. But it is a very good example for showing you how to start one. And the kind of problems you're going to face. Obviously, we're not getting all the way into mid-game and late-game and all the stuff that's going to be in there. There's a lot more left. But that probably gives you a fair overview for now. And, yeah. So I think I'll leave that one there. Oh, okay. Well, do you want to see us at least lose this one, the station? That could be fun. Let's see us lose that station. And that's in fact, actually, we know we're gonna lose that station. We know we're gonna lose that station. No, we can do something with this. We can do something with this. We can do this. We can downgrade that system so that he doesn't have that upgrade and can't use it. And then we're going to upgrade this system and try to use that as a quasi-defense as well. We're going to start it. It's not going to be easy. We already have some defense over here. But if we can build this defense while he's coming up, we do have some planets in the region that are going to be problematic and in a danger zone. But it does allow us to actually potentially hold on to the rest of the Empire. And that might be a feasible way of conducting a reasonable defense on it. So yeah, it's actually not that hard to do. I think this one might be fun to play through. I probably will then. So we'll probably come back with this one at some point, and with others as well. If you want to find any more games from beginning to end, all sorts of games from different parts of, you know. Sometimes I start streams mid-game, sometimes I start later game, or sometimes earlier, but sometimes new games. But that'll be, I think, a good position for now, and we'll just watch him to take out that system, why don't we? Nice little finale of defended over there, but still lost something over here. So it's a little bit of, you know, and every war is going to have some give and take, and then you just have to react to that and see what you can do. And then, of course, learn for next time, should I have done differently, kind of thing. So they took that system. We're still building this one up. We still have a reasonable kind of position that we could fight, but certainly not optimal. Improvements could be made, and that's what the next game's all about. But for now, you just kind of have fun with it. And also, there's going to be a fun war coming out of that one, so maybe we'll come back with that war another time. Anyway, till next time, I'm Captain Jesscard of Starship Acanthus. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.